Hello and welcome to Build Up to a Good Game. We're 1 hour and 5 minutes away from kickoff as West Ham United take on Brighton and Hove Albion. Match day 3 of the Premier League at the London Stadium. The Hammers up against a team they've yet to beat in the Premier League since it began, and Brighton were back promoted to the Premier League in 2017. Gonzo, how are you feeling?
Yeah, good. Really looking forward to it, mate. I've just finished watching saved up the Leon Edwards fight last night. So, yeah, he won the welterweight title, UFC title. So I'm expecting more sporting victories today, quite frankly.
Happy days. West Ham United haven't failed to score in the first 3 games of the season since 94 and 95. Up against Brighton, who have got the 4th best record away from home since the start of last season, behind Manchester City, Liverpool and Chelsea. So perhaps the statistics don't bode too well for West Ham going into this one. But Gonzo, records are there to be broken under David Moyes. We've certainly broken a few of them with our goal differences, our lofty positions in the Premier League, goals scored, so on and so forth. This is another one on the conveyor belt.
Yeah, those sort of records don't bother me. They are there to be broken. I think the ones that are the big ones is like when you don't beat Liverpool for years. That was a big one, right? Because there's some validity to it. There's some truth in it. And really, it's sort of David versus Goliath there. So that they're hard to beat. I can't remember what the record was. Some 30-year record, or maybe we didn't beat Liverpool at their stadium. I can't even remember now. But a long record. This is not that. This is not insurmountable. This is not some impossible marathon quest that we can't do. We're talking about Brighton and Hove Albion here. So at some point, West Ham will beat Brighton and Hove Albion. It's just whether or not that day is today. Whereas in the past, when you look at some of those bigger clubs like Liverpool, it felt as a West Ham fan we'd never beat Liverpool. It doesn't feel like that here, but we're just going to take a little bit of tactical trickery. It's going to take the right team selection. It's going to take
the right attitude, the right substitution. It's going to take a lot of things to go right.
All the stuff, absolutely right, mate. Yep.
And we could do with an error from Graham Potter as well. Throw it in there just to make it a little bit easier too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But looking forward to it, mate. Should be a good game.
Anyway, the lineups are out in a couple of minutes' time, and this video is sponsored by a very kind viewer and patron of Hammers Chat. Last week, we appealed to anybody that wishes to sponsor our build-up and watch-along shows. Get your logo above Gonzo's head throughout the watch-along with Charlie as well. And for us to mention it right now during the show, a couple of people got in touch, and one of the people got in touch and I said, what do you want us to promote? Would you like us to promote you, your social media? What would you like? He said, can you promote your Patreon and give a big shout out to Overseas Hammers? So you're getting a little bit of a clue as to where he's perhaps based. But massive thank you to that patron of ours. And at patreon.com/Hammers Chat is where you can join up and receive additional Hammers Chat content, just as this person does, which makes him want to support the channel because he enjoys the videos that he gets. And in the month of August, we're running a promotion. If you join the supporters tier, which will cost you £3.60 today, and you don't like it, what you receive between now and the end of the month, email us, get in touch with us, and we'll issue you a refund. It's as simple as that. We're quite confident, though, that if you do come on over, you'll like what you'll see, and you'll stick around. But hopefully, Brighton can give us 3 points, so the player ratings tomorrow will be upbeat and positive and hopefully a little bit more enjoyable. But if you want to get involved, links in the description below, and hello to all the Overseas Hammers as well. Anyway, Gonzo, lineups out in a minute. Is there anyone you're hoping to see for West Ham? We've also got a few potential new signings. We've got Teal Kerrer, we've got Maxwell Courage, and Lucas Kamaka, Flynn Downs, Alphonse Areola. Technically, is he kind of a new signing? Any of them you're hoping to see, or is there any of the players that perhaps on the fringes that deserve a start?
Well, there's someone I wouldn't like to see, so Kerrer, I would like to start, and I would, even though he's not a new player, I would like Ben Rama to start. I feel that is important, that we really reward excellence, and I think we've seen the last 2 games Ben Rama's played. We've seen excellence. He's playing in a way that I want him to play, more importantly than me. He ain't got to please me. He's playing in a way that David Moyes would probably want him to play in a way that would suit the team. So as well as Cornet did, I thought Cornet looked really good. And got the assist. I think Ben Rama has to start for me in this one. I'm not overly fussed about the centre forwards. As I said, I think whoever plays will play well. I think they're both motivated. Don't mind if Antonio starts at all. I do feel, and I've said this, I know like a scratch record. Been going on about this now for last few videos, but I think it's important that Moyes makes a decision on Souček. We discussed this in depth in our Patreon breakfast program this morning. He needs to. I didn't like your face then at all, by the way. I don't mean generally. Your face is very nice, but I don't like the face that you pulled at that particular point then. I feel he's a little bit of a hindrance to general pass and move. So if he is going to play Souček, he needs to almost, I think, play him as a number 10, let him go up and try and head the ball in or something, whatever, and then put someone else in the middle next to Declan who can help keep the play ticking over, really.
Well, if I ask everybody watching live and Gonzo to predict what David Moyes is going to do, I think he's done just that. In goal for the Hammers this afternoon, we've got Lucas Fabianski. The back four, we've got Vladimir Coufal, Kurt Zuma, Thilo Kehrer starts alongside Kurt Zuma, as well as Aaron Cresswell at left back. Declan Rice continues to partner Thomas Souček in the middle of the pitch with an attacking midfield trio of Jared Bowen, Pablo Fornals and Said Benrahma, and Mikel Antonio leads the line. So one change from the Nottingham Forest defeat, which is Kehrer in for Ben Johnson in central defence. So predictable, expected, and I'm going to say in your behalf a little bit underwhelming.
No, I like the team. It's just that one position. I do like the team. I think that's a good team. Let's get that absolutely right. But I think David Moyes has even alluded to the fact that Souček being in there's a bit of a hindrance, but it's almost undroppable for him. And I don't want to beat up on Souček. Far from it. I was hopeful that he'd do well this season. It would not surprise me if Souček scored a goal in this game.
Well, at the end of the day, I was just going to say, at the end of the day, he was our most attacking threat against Nottingham Forest, wasn't he? He was the one that was most likely to score. He's capable. It's just Moyes himself has alluded to the fact there's players not playing as well as they were a year ago, and you have to assume that Souček is one of those players he's currently discussing. The lineup, listen, defence, I'm happy with the defence. That's what I was hoping to see. I'm not going to lie. That's the team I wanted to see for the back five. The midfield, I'd like to see something a little bit different. Attacking midfield and striker, again, I've got no complaints. My concern actually isn't necessarily the personnel as such. The concern is we're picking the same team as last week, which lost away to Nottingham Forest. And yes, I think we were unlucky in hindsight and we could have scored 2 or 3 goals, but we didn't score 2 or 3 goals that game. We got beat 1-0 by a newly promoted side. And I think it ramps the pressure up a little bit on us today. We picked the same team again. So therefore, come the full-time whistle, if some of these players are putting poor performances and we've got beat again, my sympathy will be pretty low in regards to the manager. But at the same time, if we do win, credit to him for having faith in the players and sticking by them, and they've rewarded him with a performance. I think there's a slight. This used to be David Moyes' safe team. I think it's almost David Moyes' risk team to some extent now.
He won't see it that way. He won't see it that way at all. But we've both said that he doesn't really have any. It's not no credit left in the bank. I'm not talking about long term, but he doesn't have anywhere to go if he loses this game. He almost leaves himself with nothing but awkward questions in the post-match press conference. Now, do I have faith that those awkward questions would be asked? No, I don't. But he would have no answers to them because, as we mentioned, that these are his tactics. This is his team. He's got a squad there where he can put out. There's some there that obviously weren't signed by him, but you could say this is his squad. He's got new signings there.
Yeah, he's chosen to retain them now. He's been at the club too long now. This summer he's cleared out the dead route. Frederick, Yarmolenko, they're gone now. The players that are still here is the players that Moyes has chosen to retain from the previous regimes. I mean, some of those players, one of those players was signed by Sam Allardyce with Aaron Cresswell. That's how far back we're going.
But he loves him. Moyes loves Cresswell. Moyes loves Rice. Moyes loves Antonio, and he clearly loves Fornals. So that's it. You don't sell everyone when you change club, do you? So I mean, that's great. But this is his, and it's supplemented by a load of guys on the bench who are his guys as well. So this is it. He's put it on the line. He's basically saying, "This is my team." He's not saying any of this stuff. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying his words for him. This is my team. These are my tactics, and this is what I'm going to do. But his biggest thing today is trying to outwit the opposition manager, because it's got, if you're competitive, I've always said this about sports people or just competitive people, they're a nightmare. You can't play Monopoly with them. Do you know what I mean? Honestly, they lose a game of Monopoly with a competitive person. They can't handle it. They go mad. They cheat. They do all sorts. They'll do anything, right? We've all got a competitive mate who will do, and you've already alluded this, Geo, you've said you're a bit like this, right? If you've got that competitive streak in you, you've just got it. What it must be like to be like that and then constantly get outwitted by your opposition manager, it must do. Honestly, I don't think I'd be out of sleep at night. I'd be honestly probably having nightmares about Graham Potter. I'll probably have a picture of Graham Potter on my dartboard, and all the rest of it. So I would imagine that David Moyes is going to be highly motivated to try and pull off a tactical trick. He doesn't got to do it on his own. He's got Nolan there. He's got Paul Nevin there. He's just brought Warburton in as well. He's got McKinley there. He's got an experienced back team, a lot of whom have managerial experience themselves. If collectively they can't get around the tactical table, if there is such a thing, you can buy them on eBay, tactical tables, exactly the same as a dinner table, but you just discuss tactics around it. If they can't collectively come up with a plan to beat Graham Potter, then honestly, it's gonna start to fester, I think.
The pressure's on some of the boys in the starting 11 as well. It's not quite last chance saloon for them. It doesn't mean they're going to be sold at that, but I think if they want to start against Aston Villa next weekend, they need to perform today. I think Moyes is almost not throwing them under the bus or anything, but Moyes has literally just said to the press a couple of days ago, some of the players I've got aren't performing as well as they used to be. The players will know if they're referring to them or not. You know what it's like. You hear someone say something, you think, was that about me or not? You know whether it's about you or not. Because if you think it is, it probably is, because it means the cap fits and all that. So that's what those players will be thinking. Is the gaffer speaking about me? Well, if you have to ask that, he possibly is. Declan Rice won't be thinking, was the gaffer speaking? Bowen won't be thinking, was he speaking about me? Bowen will be thinking, well, it's not me, mate, because I'm much better than it was a year ago. I know who he's talking about. It's not me, lads. So those players need to turn up and perform well. I think my disappointment as a fan, if you like, is there's no surprise factor there from Moyes. I would have liked to have seen something a little bit different, but it's only 3 games in. It's not quite massive, big red panic button just yet. A couple of seasons ago, the season we finished 6th, so not last season, the one prior, we lost our first 2 games of that season as well and went on to finish 6th. So just because you've lost the first 2 games doesn't mean you're going to have a bad season or that. I think my disappointment leading up to this game was hearing Moyes speak about how the new signings, you've got to give them time to bed them in. And so, well, Tilo Kehrer signed literally during the week and he starts today. So, no, you can put them in when you need to. You've shown us that with Soufal, with Bowen, with Souček, Jesse Lingard in the past, that you will play them. And it's just a convenient excuse to not play Scamacca or Kearney, or to play Antonio and a other attacking midfielder, however you want to look at it. But you look along the Premier League this weekend, and the new signings that are popping up here and there, scoring goals, getting assists, putting in big performances at the back. Nottingham Forest got a point at Everton they'll be happy with. Yesterday, Dean Henderson, another man of match performance. Fulham got a great win against Brentford with Andreas Pereira playing really well. Polina scoring a goal for Fulham as well. So new signings can make a big impression from the get-go. But the good news, though, Gonzo, we've only got one keeper on the bench.
Happy days.
For West Ham this afternoon, we have got Alphonse Areola. We've also got Ben Johnson, Harrison Ashby, Angelo Ogbonna. We've got Conor Commentary, Flynn Downs, Manuel Lanzini, Maxwell Cordy, and Gianluca Scamacca. That's a Premier League bench. It's been a long time since we've said that. That's a Premier League bench.
No, it really is. I'm really happy with that, actually. You've got players on the bench who can hopefully impact the game in any area, be it, defence, midfield, or attack, or even in goal. And you're quite right. To only have one goalkeeper feels like Christmas, really, doesn't it? So I'm pleased with this. I just don't see any excuses anymore. Look, we all want some more players. David Moyes wants some more players. However, I think those players are really because would we like to improve some of the first team? Yes, but also we're a bit worried if we get an injury or 2. But as it stands, we've got a load of first team players and we've got a full bench. So actually for this game now, we're good. All right. Are we good in terms of numbers? for the European campaign as it goes on? No. But at the moment, having only played 3 games this season, full bench, full squad, new players, attacking, new striker, new defender, new winger. We're good. We are good. Without being one of the top clubs, Man City or whoever, this is going to be about as good as it gets for West Ham. So with that in mind, we have to go with the expectation of winning today. As I say, for numerical reasons, for historical reasons, I mean, recent history, you have to suggest that Brighton should be favourites. But that doesn't mean we fear Brighton. We're playing at home and we've got, I think, a really good team. We might individually, you and me, Geo, and people in the chat might not ideally like the component parts of it. We might swap him out for him or him for him. But by and large, that's a good team there. That's a team with new signings in it. And it's a team that's qualified for Europe 2 seasons on the bounce. If we can't be quaking in our boots at Brighton.
Yeah, so let's take a look at the Brighton 11 and Gonzo. Last week against Nottingham Forest on my opposition prediction, 11 out of 11.
Yeah.
Brighton, 11 out of 11. It was quite easy. It was easier this weekend. I've done it 2 weeks on the bounce now.
I predicted that you would predict it as well.
So who's better at predicting?
I'm predicting your predictions, so I want to get a bit of credit.
Harder.
I get a bit of credit as well here, I think.
In goal for Brighton today. Right, this is where what I will say before I read it out. There's no surprises for Potter. There's no surprises for David Moyes either. In goal, we've got Sanchez with their back 3 of Adam Webster on the left, Lewis Dunk bang in the middle, and Veltman on the right. Right wing back, we'll see Solly March with Mac Allister and Casiado in the middle of the pitch with Trossard at left wing back, a very attacking left wing back, however. We've also got Adam Lallana and Pascal Gross playing attacking midfield, sort of in the number 10, a narrow attacking midfield, and Danny Welbeck as the lone striker for Brighton this afternoon. Expected a good team, not world beaters, a team better than the sum of their parts, you might say.
Yeah, well drilled, well organised team who are comfortable in possession with a couple of bruisers in there to win the ball back, but they're very well drilled in what Graham Potter wants to do. Geo, it's as you say, it's to be expected. I'm actually looking forward to the contest. Obviously, the game I want us to win, but actually, as a contest, I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, I agree with you as well. I think it'll be an interesting one. I think both managers know what each other were going to do, so there's no excuses. It's not quite as drastic, but I still remember that Wolves game when Nuno was the manager. Remember when Adama Traore was warming up for 10 minutes? We could all see it, and we all thought, well, come on, Moyes, you're going to have to do something. And Traore came on, ran past Creswell, crossed it in, they scored, and we were all like, well, that was always good. And then we did a sub. And we thought, well, you're late. You've got to react to stuff. And this is where I'm thinking, look at both managers here. There's no surprise from either team. You know what's expected. You've both got your squad. You've both got your bench. It'll be interesting to see if either manager do get a tactical one-up on each other. I'm not too sure they will. I think West Ham will come out to play their way. I think Brighton will come out to play their way. And it'll be a case of who's better at their way on the day that gets the 3 points from this one, actually. Now, the Brighton bench, that Japanese player, Mitoma, is on the bench for Brighton this afternoon. In no particular order. Charlie, I have it on order for you. There you go. That's in order for you. Stephen Alzate. We've also got Mitoma as well as Tariq Lamptey. We've got Colwell, who's on loan from Chelsea. We've also got Mwepu, Mopai, Yundav, Steele, and we've also got Estupiñán as well, the new signing from Villarreal, the left wing back. Good bench. I'm surprised Neil Mopai's on there. He's expected to be joining Fulham now.
Yeah, I like it. Good bench, and Neil Mopai's on there. But they need to bring someone on to basically act like a child and throw themselves around. And honestly, it's Neil Mopai. Watching Neil Mopai play football is like trying to drag your child out the sweets aisle in the supermarket. Unedifying sight indeed.
Anyway, you've seen the lineups. Before we do the no, actually, let's go straight into the bet. We'll go straight into the bet giveaway. For those that are new to the Hammers Chat build-up show, where have you been all this time? Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Drop on the like on the video while you're here as well. Helps the channel out a little bit. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to load up the old Bet365. me and Gonzo are going to compile a little bet together. We're going to chuck it on. We're going to chuck a $5 on it. And if it wins, we'll give one of you guys the cash. We'll tell you how to enter in just a minute. But Gonzo, what are you feeling for today's bet?
I feel we'll win. I feel we'll win. Okay, I really do.
I'll put that in. Good odds. 29-20. I'm pleased with them odds. Big odds that for a home win for any Premier League team, really, as long as you're not playing Liverpool and Man City. So, yeah, we'll put that in. Is there anything else you're fancying?
Oh, I think Antonio will score. Now, this is a dodgy one. You can reject this if you want to, because the trouble is we now don't know if these guys are going to play the whole game.
He would. Yeah. Even if Antonio's man of match, given that we've got 5 substitutions and a £35 million striker, I would expect he would get withdrawn at some point. 70 minutes maybe, but then, hopefully scored by this point, essentially.
Look, Hammer 1999 has said brave man, Gonzo. The brave man, by the way, is not predicting that we'll win. The brave man is predicting that we'll lose in a build-up show. So cowardly man, Gonzo, is what you should have said. Maybe. Well, I tell you what, we probably know Souček's going to play all game then, don't we? So maybe we go for a Souček goal. We got 4 chances against Nottingham Forest.
So, right, do you want Souček or Antonio? You're going to have to pick one. What one you go for?
Souček.
Right, okay. Gonzo's beefing up the order. It's going to be a big giveaway today, guys. I'll tell you that for free.
Yes.
Player to get booked. I don't think there's going to be many cards in this game. I think Anthony Taylor's the referee, so that's okay for the cards. But I don't think neither of us are particularly dirty. Brighton can be quite central. We'll go for Dunk. We'll go for Lewis Dunk. I don't think Lewis Dunk will stick him in at 45-1. I mean, that'll do. That'll be the bet. 45-1. That's big odds. So £230 if this bet wins. We only need 3 things: West Ham to win. Now, if West Ham go 2-0 up, that counts as a West Ham win, even if it finishes 2-2 or something. As long as West Ham go 2 goals up or win the game. So West Ham win, Souček to score any time, Dunk to get booked, £230. To enter in a live chat, please put the following phrase:
Potter is gross.
Potter is gross. Get that into the live chat, there you'll be entered. And if the bet wins, one of you guys will win the dollar. I've just clicked on something. Here we go. Just a quick thank you to Dave. Says, feeling confident today. Come on, you Irons. You popped a couple of quid in the full-time fund. So thank you very much, Dave. Right, Gonzo, you've seen both the teams. How you feeling? What are you thinking? Give me your thoughts.
Yeah, I like it. It's always difficult to... I'm not fooled by Brighton. I look at it and I'm not impressed with their team. And that happens every time. Sorry, I'm not impressed with individual players. The team is just so impressive. I think I've got to... this, Gio. I've been saying it for 3 years now. Brighton on their day, I'm never surprised. Like if I turn on the sports results or something, and it says Brighton have beaten Liverpool, Brighton have beaten Man United, Brighton have beaten Chelsea, or whatever. I'm never surprised. It doesn't surprise me. Yeah, they can, because on their day they play like those clubs. Do you know what I mean? So they're really good. I think they're really, really good. But I've had enough now. I've had enough. I've had me full. I've praised Brighton. I think their manager's excellent. I've had enough. I just want to beat them now. I'm sick. I'm sick of them. Absolutely sick of the sight of them. So it's time we beat them, really.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, I'm not confident that we're going to win. I am optimistic. I'm not confident that Brighton are going to win either. So that's the thing. I find this outcome quite difficult to call, actually. I think it's quite even in regards to the squads. Obviously, in terms of form, not so much. I think Brighton have been thoroughly impressive in their first 2 games. Between us, both teams, though, have only got 1 goal scorer, and that's Pascal Gross. No other players scored for Brighton, and nobody scored for West Ham yet either. So it's not
right. Yeah.
It's not ideal coming into this game. I have 4 games between us, we've got 1 goal scorer. But, I believe in law of averages, even if that's something to cling to, that we've got to beat them at some point. I know you're speaking about how Brighton are favourites for this one. I think the bookies make it quite an even contested match. But I think the pressure's actually on West Ham for this one, because nobody's going to be sticking a microphone in front of Potter's face today and saying, well, 4 points from 2 games, you must be expecting to win this one, are you, Graham? They'll be sticking it in front of Moyes and Moyes, mate, you've lost the first 2 games here. You lose this one, you're probably going to be bottom of the league Well, actually, it'll still be Man United because they're going to get thumped by Liverpool tomorrow night. But come Tuesday, you'll still be 19th in the Premier League. What's going on? What's happening kind of thing. I think, do you know something? I'm going to say this now. I don't think a draw would be the worst result in the world. Out of context. Just drawing against Brighton, it's fine. I think given that we've lost our first 2 games, it becomes quite a little bit, it almost just delays the mood, if you like. I don't think it improves the mood, but I don't think it worsens it. It just keeps it where it is moving forward until the Villa game. And I'm just grateful we've got Aston Villa next weekend, actually, because despite what happens today, I'm confident that we're going to win that game. But the fans need something today. We need a big performance. Some of those players need to step up today for West Ham. Thomas Souček in particular. I think Soufal needs a good game as well. I think he was good on Thursday. But doing it against a mid-table Danish side is different to the Premier League. I think he's been poor in the 2 Premier League games thus far. I think Fornals has had 3 poor halves of Premier League football so far as well. We need to see more from him. Saïd Benrahma being our best player so far this season. It's only 2 games in. But again, doing it against a raw Nico Williams and a Danish right back's one thing. Can you do it against Veltman? Much tougher test. Solly March is tried and tested by Graham Potter. I've always got this theory that Potter will pick his 10 players and the last position goes to Solly March. Doesn't matter where it is on the pitch. Wherever that last position is, Solly March fits it because he just needs Solly March on the pitch. It'll be a tough game. We all know that. But you know something? It'll be a tough game for Brighton as well. This isn't going to be a thumping. I don't think there'll be more than 1 goal in it if either team wins. I don't think it's going to be 2-0, 3-0, anything like that. But I think it's an important one. But I tell you what, while I said I'll accept a draw, Gonzo. If we win, I'll be buzzing today. Even if it's a 1-0 scrappy victory, I don't care how we get the 3 points. We get the 3 points. I think it's a massive, massive win because I know you say you don't care about these records and stuff. I don't know. I think there is probably a psychological edge when it comes to sport that West Ham players will be aware of this. You know, Declan Rice did a little clip for West Ham social media the other day, and he sort of related to it, saying we've not beaten them. He wasn't quite sure of the record itself. He says, certainly when I've been in the team, we've not won against them. Unfortunately, it goes a bit further back than that, Declan. But it's there. We've got.
Yeah, I don't so much mean that. What I mean is it's harder to do that when actually you're facing a team that's like got Kenny Dalglish and Ian Rush and Graham Souness. You know, you're just playing players that are much better than yours. But, you know, I've made the comparison with Liverpool back in the day. And I do agree as well with you about, it's not about, when I say the favouritism or who being favourites of the game, it's not so much the microphone being thrust in Graham Potter's face. It's more in club them being favourites. For all the last previous few games, cup 2 or 3 seasons, whatever, Graham Potter's been able to go into that dressing room. He's been able to sit his Brighton players down. He's been able to say, right, you know, West Ham are this, they're brilliant. We're the underdogs today. You're going to have to scrap to do this. And basically, in terms of in their dressing room, they're the underdogs. I think he can't play that card anymore. I think actually in Brighton's dressing room, there's probably an expectation from the Brighton players. They're actually thinking, oh, it's we beat this lot every season. So I don't know, and I'm hoping there's a little bit of complacency there from them. Whereas before, I think they've been the driven team with the determination, the drive and the point to prove. I think now West Ham are the team with a point to prove, and I'm hoping that might be enough to tip the scales of the balance.
We've got a fantastic comment here. Do you want to see it?
I'd love to.
Tommy Smith said it's a Lynx Africa moment on Christmas Day, the team. Not the person you've been promised, but it's the one you expect, isn't it? You're being, it's the one you know what it is, but you don't even open it, do you? You sort of leave it till the evening thinking about it, unwrap this, I know what it is. No point unwrapping it, but there you go. Good point, this one by Marine. Vice penalty miss. What one do you think should be taking the pens today? It's got to be Benrahma or Souček for me. One of the two.
I'd definitely give it to Benrahma. Yeah,
I think I'd give it to him because of the confidence thing at the minute. I think them two or Lanzini if he's on the pitch at the time, but certainly those three would be my contenders. Right, now it's time for you guys to get involved. So please put your thoughts into the live chat. It can be about the West Ham team, the Brighton team, how you see the game going, anything in relation to the game, but not your score prediction itself. And thank you to Dylan. He's popped in $5 Aussie, and he says he's wearing his signed Fabianski jersey, one from Hammer's chat for the first time for good luck. Well, if we win, Dylan, you better be wearing that on every match day. But
you have to.
Don't do it when we're away to like Liverpool and City because
you'll ruin it.
Yeah, just
And you can't wash it. Don't wear it for too long. Just wear it for the game. Take it off. Put it back in the wardrobes. It's signed. You can't wash it, really.
And thank you to the Day's Banter for his £1 super chat as well. If you've left like a super sticker or something.
He's put 20 quid in.
Has he? I can't see that yet.
I'll click on it because I'm clever like that.
Yes, please do that. I'll find it and start it, but I can't see it. I'm on the other page.
Well, actually, I sound clever like that. I'm actually clicking on it, but it's not working. Sorry. There you go.
Yes, thank you, Days Banter. If you popped in if you put a sticker thing on, we can't see them on the software we use, unfortunately. People in live chat on YouTube will be able to see it, but we can't. So if you've done like an avocado or something, then unfortunately we can't see it. That's what me and Gonzo see. But thank you very much. I appreciate it. Right, let's see what you guys are saying. Inner Circle says his son-in-law is taking his grandson to his first game today. 7 years old he is.
Nice. That's lovely. I love all that.
Well, he's either going to enjoy it or he's going to get a massive dose of reality expectation when it comes to West Ham. This is what happens. We just don't beat that lot. Get used to it.
So that first day, he'll hear a grown man swear.
By the way, can I just say, I can't believe Dylan's wearing a signed shirt.
Why not?
Do you wear a sign? Have you got a signed shirt? Would you wear it?
I haven't worn it actually, no, but I can understand it. Actually, there was a point where, and it's signed by the whole West Ham squad, as you know. And sometimes look, I'll be honest, I've thrown this on, I haven't even ironed it or anything, right? I came down to record this. There's a stain on me.
Probably not allowed to use the water in your iron these days, anyway. Ironing ban.
This is true. This is true. So
I heard you're thinking of the economy, really, Gonzo. That's why
I'm very thoughtful like that. And so actually, I very nearly thought, crikey, we were due live in 5 minutes. Oh, West Ham shirt, and it was a side. I thought, no, I can't.
Right, let's see what it all says. Scott says Brighton for him are in the top 3 for best passing teams. They're going to give Souček a night, unfortunately.
Like a knighthood?
Yeah, I hope so. That means he's played well, doesn't it? Here we go. Len says that going attacking will undo us. Need to sit back, score on the break like last season. People disappointed with this, but front foot play leads us so exposed. I don't think he's wrong.
I'm not, but I'm worried about us starting slow. It just sets a precedent. Start out, bang, we retreat straight. Well, we won't retreat straight away. What we'll do is we'll launch it long. We'll, if we take the kick off, we'll kick it back. Souček will run up there. We'll try and launch it to Souček's head. Brighton will win possession.
Understood that. I hate seeing that. It's such a waste of possession.
It is, and they'll get the ball. They'll get the ball back, and after Souček will either head it to them, or the pass won't be good enough to hit Souček. Brighton get the ball. Brighton immediately counter-attack us. And the thing is, I just think you immediately set your stall out and you're back and inviting pressure on yourself. And Moyes doesn't mind it. I think Moyes is quite happy to let the opposition. He did it with Nottingham Forest. Go on, you lot attack us. We'll soak it up for the 10 minutes and then we'll try and hit you. I understand the tactics. I just don't like them.
Yeah, I get it as well. I think we were good counter-attacking and we've not been able to be as counter-attacking since because teams sort of sit back a bit more against us, which I suppose is a compliment. But if you look at Brighton's second goal at Old Trafford, the way they ripped through that Man United team on the counter-attack was something else. They were penned in their own corner, Brighton. And about 5 passes later, the ball was in the back of the net. I was like, how the hell? How have they done that? It was really good football. So I can understand being a bit cautious. And if Brighton does let you play on the counter-attack out, by all means, go ahead and do it. It's just like you said, it's a bit risky in the sense that if you get beaten, I think what it does do, it magnifies the way you've been beaten as well. Do you know what I mean? It almost feels like you've not had to go at them kind of thing. So I think you're going to sit back and let them have possession. I think it comes with an element of risk, which is you better get something from the game to justify doing that. Whereas if you lose, I think it just makes it look like it's been a bit of a walkover actually, rather than failed tactics. Mike says, Skamaka, our Canadian should have started. We will regret it. Doug thinks we will start strong as normal against Brighton, but Moyes does from the 65th minute onward.
He's got a point.
Important.
He's got a point.
I still get nightmares about that. I honestly still get nightmares about that game. Seeing Glenn Murray score that equaliser to make it 3-3 as well.
But last season, the last game of last season as well. But bad. To be fair, I think that was more Potter doing well than Moyes. Getting it wrong, which is, but anyway, neither's good, is it?
Stevie B says, our aerial threat isn't a threat without Dawson or Skamaka. Tony's asking if it's on the radio. I'm not sure, to be honest with you, Tony. If you want somewhere to perhaps watch it, which we wouldn't advise doing, you shouldn't do it. But if you are that way inclined, Charlie will be able to point you in direction as to where you may be able to find somewhere. But again, we don't recommend it. Lewis says he was quite sad to see Cornet and Skamaka not starting, but if we bring them on as a double sub on the hour mark, that is massive progress. Jamie's gobsmacked that Cornet had not started after that performance on Thursday.
I know, but you have to drop. I think to start him, you have to drop either Ben Rama or Bowen, and I think that's hard to do that.
Scott says Brighton are in the top 3. Oh, I've already clicked on that one. Oh, you posted it twice. Oh, they're going to cause Souček a nightmare today, not a night. He's changed the.
Oh,
sorry,
I'd
Scott.
have gone with knighthood.
Yeah. Oh well, Souček's not getting a night tonight. Mike said you can see Moyes being a Skamaka on the 70th minute, a goal down, and it won't be enough time. Well, this is what I want to see. I want to see decisive Dave a little bit. If it's not working at halftime, make a change. We did it on Thursday night. It wasn't working. We're still 1-0 up, but it wasn't working. Lanzini off, Penal's on, much better in the second half. So we've got 5 substitutions there. Let's use them. You've got a Premier League bench there today as well. Let's see them. Harry, excellent point. Could really help our counter-attack against a possession-based team like Brighton, having Kerr in the side. Great ball player.
Looking forward to seeing him, Geo. Looking forward to seeing more.
Robert said the run needs an end, so why not now? Ethan had high confidence even after Man City, but watching Forest killed him. Need a big performance for us fans.
He's been resurrected. He's back. We're pleased to see you, Ethan.
Yeah, and Ethan's having a better day than most of us.
Yeah.
Rich says if things are not going well, hope Moyes reacts a bit quicker than he usually does. Has good bench options. He's been all right this season so far, Moisey, with the old bench. Man City, 55 minutes, he brought on Skamaka and...
I think he is. If his players and he trusts the players, I think he'll do it. Also, he doesn't have to feel like with 3, it's almost like he's saving them for later. He could still make a couple of subs and still save some for later.
Kane says his dad's losing it. He stuck about on 2-0 West Ham, so check to score. Well,
don't knock the old man. Don't knock the old man. I'll tell you what, I hope we're all... you might be asking him to lend you a few quid.
Minnie said that he played with and against Solly March at youth level and seemed mad seeing him play in the Premier League. Well, I know how that... I kind of get that. Everybody's done stuff like that before.
Yeah, they have. Yeah. Absolutely.
I remember when I was playing against somebody, I think I was 16 or 17 years old, maybe 15. I was in that age anyway. And someone said, oh, you're up against this player today. I can't remember his name. I think his name was David Ross. And he said, oh, so you're up against that guy. I was like, and? He says, do you not know who he is? I was like, no. He's like, he's just signed for Aberdeen. I said, what? It's like, he's away to Aberdeen in the summer. I was like, oh, wonderful. He ripped me to pieces for like, I don't know, 70 minutes. Then he got subbed off. And I thought, oh, thank God. Anyway, we had to play him again on the Thursday, a different age group. Anyway, the manager comes over to me and goes, you're up against David Ross. I was like, not again. I'm not doing this. Absolutely. I took a yellow card after about 8 minutes. Took a yellow. He got subbed off after about 15 minutes. I just went through him. I thought, I don't care what I do. There's no way you're staying on the pitch if you've signed for Aberdeen. There's no way they're going to let you play against somebody that's willing to put studs in on you. So I just went through him, took a yellow card.
You've got to feel sorry. Everyone does it to those players, Geo. This is what happens. I finished my schooling life in Bournemouth, and we in a semi-final. We played in a semi-final of like a regional cup. And we played Jamie Redknapp's school, the same age as me. But Jamie Redknapp wasn't even the best player in his school team. I don't forget his name was Stephen Fay. And he was brilliant. He was untouchable. And I literally karate kicked him in the gut. Should have been a penalty. They didn't give a penalty. Don't believe it. So one of the worst foul I've ever seen was committed by me. Nothing was given. But that's the trouble with these brilliant players. You just end up trying to muller them. They spend their whole life. So when you hear these things, oh, Lionel Messi don't like getting kicked. Lionel Messi's been kicked by everyone his whole life because he's just too good. How did Rossi get on at Aberdeen?
Not very good, I don't think. I think
it's you. You ruined his career.
I think he ended up at Peterhead, which is still like semi-professional football. So he still went on to play a footballing career, just not Aberdeen. He joined Aberdeen when he was like 16 or 17. Anyway, signed him up. I'm sure his name was David Ross. I might Google him after, see where he is these days.
You ruined him, Geo. You ruined him. He still thinks he's tortured. He thinks back to that game against FC Inverurie when this little kid, this little cheeky kid, killed him.
Anyway, right, we're running a bit behind schedule here. Charlie's waiting to come on. But before we get Charlie on, it's score prediction time. So can you please get your score predictions into the live chat now? And while you're all watching, please do drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new to Hammers Chat. Over 1,000 people watching live. Thank you very much. We still do get a little bit
excited,
you take a
aroused.
I get a bit aroused. I get a bit nervous. I go, wow, there's 1,000 of them.
1066 as well, watch him. It's a good number. Oh, 1069, even better number.
I get sexy number. I get frightened.
60-10.
It reminds me of when I was up against David Ross for the second time in a week. I thought, I'm not doing this.
So it's like Uncle Albert and the war. I want to hear a lot about David Ross. I'd be disappointed if we don't always hear about David Ross. 3-1 to the mighty Hammers.
3-1, 4-0, 5-3. We always love a score like that. 1-1, 1-1, 2-1, 2-1 West Ham, 3-all, 1-all, 2-all, 3-2 from Logan, 3-2 from Taz, 2-1 West Ham, comfy 2-0. I'll take a comfy 2-0. 3-1 West Ham, 1-all, 2-1, 3-1, 3-1 Brighton, 4-2 to the Hammers, 2-1, 2-all, 2-1 Brighton from Irish Tommy, 3-1 West Ham, 2-2. 3-1 Brighton, 2-1, 3-1, 2-1. Let's be optimistic, says Major. 4-3, 2-1, 3-1 Brighton, says the day's banter. 3-1 to the Hammers. I hope you're wrong. I hope it's 2-0 so your dad wins the money. I'll be glad with 3-1.
We all want that. We want
rooting for your old man now.
We want a bit of cash.
Charles says 3-1 Brighton.
I'm going to do the bet. I'm going to do that bet. I'm going to do it personally.
2-1 Brighton. I tell you what, real mixed bag. I often find out the live stream, I think, can be a little, when it comes to score prediction, I think sometimes people just chuck in a West Ham win because you're a West Ham fan.
Of course.
But at the minute, it's pretty. For every West Ham win, there's a Brighton win getting chucked in here as well. It's very split, very, very split. Brighton 3-1, 2-0, and 3-1 Brighton, 3-1 West Ham, 2-0, 3-1 Brighton, 2-all. 1,069 nil. I see what you've done there, JJ. I like that. Well done. Very clever. It's 1,083. It's gone up since we started speaking about the 69s. 0-0, 2-1. So I was a left winger in the final of the Hampshire Cup when he was 16. Got booked, swore at the referee, was subbed at half-time by the headmaster and not the coach.
Oh, no. That's almost like the chairman getting involved, isn't it?
I was allowed to play for my school because I wouldn't wear school uniform to go play for my school.
You wouldn't wear your school uniform?
You had to wear school uniform.
We're finding out an awful lot about you today.
No, but I had football after, so I played for school Saturday morning and then non-school Saturday afternoon. So I had to wear my team tracksuit, so I'd wear that to school, and I used to get I had to do lines. I wore school uniform at football, so I just didn't go. I only had 2 red cards as well. One of them was for swearing at the referee as well. It was after the game, though. Anyway,
disgraceful behaviour.
I mean, to be fair, he was a little bit.
What was he?
Wanker. There we go. Wanker. It was a bit of one of them.
No, was he? Okay.
Gonzo.
Score. I'm close to doing it. You're interrupting. I'm doing my bet. Add to bet.
Right, okay, I'll speak. This is what happens when an old man tries to use technology. He's trying to place a flipping bet. That's all he's doing, but there you go. Gonzo, final words in your score prediction, please. I believe you said 4-2 West Ham in the preview, but
yeah. I'm going to go with 4-2, actually. I am. I think we got goals in us today. It's time to end the curse. It's time. It's time to end the hoodoo. It's time that we got our revenge. It's time for Moyes to get his revenge on Graham Potter. It's time for us to exorcise the demons of Brighton Hove Albion.
I don't think it's that deep. I don't think it's a curse. I don't think it's a voodoo doll in Potter's gaff or anything like that.
I think all those things. We need to get the exorcist in, deal with it, smash them. 3 points in the bag, 4-2. But I'm still putting a bet on. I'm trying to put a bet on. I can't get it as an accumulator. They're still looking on my bet slip like 2 separate bets, and I'm trying to do bet builder. But
Wait, what are you trying to do?
Souček and to win 2-0. Souček to
Right,
score.
so if you go into the game, go into Bet Builder, there's a bit called Correct Score, 2-0 West Ham, and at the very top it says Player to Score, click Souček anytime, and then it should load up the odds at the bottom.
Yeah, it's keeping them as 2 separate bets.
You're not doing it correctly, that's why. You're putting them in as single bets, that's why.
It says that's a bet slip. Anyway, it's all right. I'll do it afterwards. Don't let me disturb you, folks.
I'll send you a tutorial.
It's fine. I'll work it. I'll work it out. I'm not that simple.
Right. I'm gonna say. Do you know something, Gonzo? I think I'm just getting washed up with West Ham, the opposite West Hamitis, whatever that is. Brightonitis. Are they're not normally defeatist, I guess. No, I'm going to go in the middle. I'll say 1-1. I'm going to say 1-1. I predicted a 2-1 defeat for us, but I don't know why. I've just got a feeling that I want to see a little bit of grit about us today, actually. No pushover stuff. I want to see tough tackles going in.
Of course you do. Basically, West Ham are Geo and Brighton are David Ross.
Right, if Brighton start all this possession stuff, which they will, little needless fouls here and there just to disrupt the flow of their game enough. Smash out for throws left, right, and centre if you need to. I want to see a little bit of naughty West Ham. When Moyes came in, we almost used to be the bully boys of the Premier League a little bit. And if teams used to sort of dive and cheat against us, not Brighton are one of those teams. We used to almost rise to that a little bit, and I want to see a bit of that today. I want to see some tough tackles. I want to be the bully boys of the Premier League a little bit. And if Brighton are going to walk out of here with 3 points, then they're all going to have to put in a man of match worthy performance to get it. I don't want to be pushovers. I want us to see us creating chances from open play. We did last week against Nottingham Forest. Against Man City, we didn't lay a glove on them. Now I can put that down to the fact it's Man City, but you can only do that if Nottingham Forest, Brighton, Aston Villa, you then start creating chances against those teams, because that shows that it's because it's Man City, not because of the way you're playing. If it's not working, I want to see early substitutions from David Moyes as well. And I want to see a plan B as well. This formation's not working. No like-for-like subs. That was my one frustration with the substitutions last week against Forest. Left-footed right winger and Jared Bowen was struggling to get in the game. He kept trying to cut inside and was getting blocked also. We took him off and put on left-footed Maxwell Cornet on the right wing. Well, that's just not going to work, is it? Change something, do something different. So I'm looking forward to it, actually. Now let's bring him in. He's been sitting really, really patiently for the last 12 minutes. Charlie, apologies. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm patient. I'm feeling very patient today, Gio. You know, Zen, one could say.
Anyway, well, me and Gonzo won't keep you. We'll let you crack on. But before we do, just want to say a quick and a massive thank you to the person who has sponsored this video. If you want to sponsor one of these shows in future, details on your screen right now. But one of our kind viewers and patrons got in touch after we made a plea during the week and said, does anyone want to sponsor these videos? We've lost our sponsor. A couple of people got in touch. He's kindly sponsored this show, and he says, could you promote your Patreon, which we already have, it's patreon.com/Hammers Chat. You want additional Hammers Chat content, you want player ratings, you want a mug of tea, myself and Gonzo coming up this week. Mike is back. Hammerlytics with Charlie and Jack, which is a fantastic series.
Best show on YouTube.
Big claims by Gonzo there. Gonzo's claiming is better than the show with me and Gonzo in it. Thanks for that, Gonzo.
It is actually better, yes.
Yeah, well, nice one. Links in description. He also wants to say a massive hello to all the overseas hammers as well. So there you go. That's your sponsor today, Charlie. Myself and Gonzo are going to disappear, and I'll catch you at halftime.
Sweet. Thank you, Gio. Thank you, Gonzo. And thank you, of course, to everyone who's watching. Hello, everyone. How are we all? Hope you're well. Hope you're good. Hope you're feeling a vibe today, because, of course, you know, it's the bogey team. It's the team we're all afraid of. But I'd like to start by asking you all your confidence levels. That's how we always start. That's how we're going to rock. That's how we're going to roll. Scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the least confident possible, 10 being the most confident possible. How confident are you of a West Ham result today? I expect it to be mixed. I expect it to be mixed given the opposition. However, you know, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Maybe there'll be an overwhelming sense of confidence. Who knows? First of all, Tommy, because I love the penis. No, it's a Greg sausage roll, my friend. It's a Greg sausage roll. Come on now. My love for the penis does not extend to the shirt. How are you, Jeffrey? Hope you're well, my friend. Hope you're well. Let's have a look at some of these numbers, shall we? Actually, while we do that, let's have a deeper look at the starting 11. Let's have a deeper look at the starting 11 while we go through that. So, excitingly, it's what we think it was going to be. But I will say this. Kera does start, which is very exciting. We have Fabianski in goal, Kufal, Zuma, Kera, Cresswell. It's Rice and Souček in the double pivot with Bowen, Fornals, Ben Rama behind Mikel Antonio. I'm interested to see whether or not this is a free, Nottingham Forest style. Will we see Fornals dropping a lot deeper and giving Bowen and Ben Rama space to come inside? Bowen didn't really make the most of it. Ben Rama did. That's kind of what I'm hoping to see from that. On the bench, Areola, Johnson, Ashby, Ogbonna, Coventry, Downs, Lanzini, Cornet, and then Scamacca. So let's have a look at some of these confidence levels. 3, 7, and I suspect this is going to be the sort of vibe. These two are probably going to set the pace today, ladies and gentlemen. Also, Bobby, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. I hope you are. 3, 7, 6, 5-0 Drippy coming, just big comments. 6, 4, 4. HDU, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're well. It's not. Judas, my trustworthy friend. I hope you're well. Hope you're good. 5, 7, 7, 4, 6, 3. Loving that. That's what we're going to talk about, Scott. I feel like we might be able to do it, but who knows? 7, 6, 7, 5. Shout out Logan. Logan, by the way. Hope you're well, bro. Hope you're good. Logan, DM me. If I haven't DM'd you by the end of the day, Logan, DM me, because I will probably forget, because we both know I'm a forgetful guy. But let me know. 10, 4, 2, 6.5, 7, 6. Not overly confident with starting a lineup. We really need a West Ham chant telling Moyes to make a sub when it's not working, since he can't recognize him himself. Leon, that's a great shout, to be fair. That's an excellent shout. Come on, Chuck. That's the vibe. Yes. That's the vibe. 10, not confident at all. Scamacca should be starting. Overseas Hammers hit. Love that, Richard. Love that. We've got him, of course, overseas as well today, given the show is not available in UK TV. So I'm, of course, in my holiday home in North Idaho, which is owned, of course, by that man. And it's going to be an exciting time for us all today. It's going to be an exciting time for us all. 8, 5, 3. How can you watch the game? I'll be talking about that in just one moment. 4. Charlie. Hey, Ray. How are you, my friend? We've got Spanish tomorrow. I just need to remind myself. I'm 100% confident it's 3. There's a lot of it. Thank you. So let's talk. Let's just go through the Brighton rollout very quickly in the order that they put it up in. But I'll try and read it in an order that makes sense. It's Sanchez in goal. You have in defense Webster, Dunk, and Veltman. You have then a 4 of probably March, McAllister, Sado, and either Lallana or Trossard. I would suspect Trossard. You then would have either Lallana or Gross behind Danny Welbeck. Strong lineup, with the bench being Steele, Lamptey, Colwell, Mwepu, Mopai, Alzate, Undev, Matoma, and Estupan. Right. Now, as you know, today we are being brought to you by the lovely basically anyone who's not in the UK, right? Because as Geo said, we're looking for a sponsor, and one of our lovely patrons reached out to us and said, hey, we'd like to sponsor the show. All you have to do, though, just give a shout out to Overseas Hammers and the Patreon. So patreon.com/hammerschat, place where you can find tons of extra content, including shows that I do, 2 Spans, 1 Hammer, Hammerlytics. You've got tons of shows with Geo Gonzo, like loads of them. So many we don't know how to list them all because there's just too many at this point. So check it out. Link in the description below, patreon.com/hammerschat. And shout out to all of the Overseas Hammers. Now, of course, it is not available today on UK television, frustratingly, because of the law or something. We are not allowed to watch a game, despite the fact it's on literally in the country that we're in. And so what I would like to know is where you're watching from today, because I have, of course, watching in the holiday home of my friend, my boy, my sensei, Danny DeVito, his holiday home in North Idaho, which is where I am. So where are you at today? Let me know. And while you do that, I'll say, hey, if you're looking for a way to watch the show, if you're looking for a way to watch the game, then what I would suggest is you look down in the description below, because if you scroll down into find There's a bit there called Join Our Discord. Completely free Hammers Chat, West Ham community, but fans of all clubs are welcome. Lovely people there. But more importantly, on the left-hand side, if you scroll down, there's a bit called Stream Links, and you will find what you're looking for. I spoke all kinds of blah, 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 blah there. It was kind of mad, but we got the information out eventually. Right, where are we all watching from? This is the vibe I want today. You know, we're shouting out overseas Hammers, but more importantly, I just want to know where people are at. It's one of the most exciting times. We'll catch up at halftime. FYI in Canada, DAZN has the rights, and it's now on FUBO. I don't even know what FUBO are, but that is very frustrating. I can't lie to you. Let's have a gander. My fan is on. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry for your loss a year ago. I don't know if we spoke about this a year ago, but I'm sorry for your loss, bro. That is horrendous. As someone who has lost a parent, I can say it's one of the worst things you can go through. So hope you're all right. Hope you're dealing with it well. And obviously, condolences and thoughts go out to all your family. I know it's a year late, but I hope you're all right, bro. Right, let's have a look at some of these places, shall we? We'll have Stuart. Stuart's still around. Stuart's doing bits, bro. Stuart Morris Accountants, based in Ilford. Check them out if you haven't already. Doing absolute bits. I heard DeVito forces Charlie to do demanding things like wear a t-shirt in return for letting him stay in his Idaho. Is this factual? No comment. Is this the face of a man who would do such a thing? You tell me. Thailand. Love that, John. Hope you're well, by the way. Western Australia. HDU bringing it through for the Aussies. Cape Town, California, Norway, Australia. Big place. Hong Kong. Yes. Pennsylvania, Spain, Saskatchewan, London. Shout out. Tapping the pin. Australia, the UK, South Korea. Daegu. When I saw South Korea, I made sure to say that first because my brain went, you're not going to be able to pronounce that. I do know how to pronounce Daegu. Australia. It's a lot of Australia love, and yes. Ilford, Northeast London. Ooh, would you class Ilford as Northeast London? I'll back that, Mike. Love to see it. Shout out. Eastern Australia, Hammers, DC, big plays. Down in Guernsey, Charlie. Good. Love to see overseas in a literal sense. They're over an ocean from us, you know. Auckland, New Zealand. We're watching from Florida near Daytona Beach. Daytona. What a show. What a song. Washington. I think it's Washington. Alcoholville. Well, that's HDU, so it's not, but still, Alcoholville. Oh, Western Australia. Right, sorry, my bad. Confused. Alcoholville. Fair. I can respect that. It might be one of those days. Greenville, North Carolina, in the US. Motherfucking disco, Jeffrey. Yes. Western Perth, Australia. Rural South Australia. Hamalytics. Best. Thank you. Jack does incredible work, and I am also there. And I'm looking forward to when Cal does it because I will also be there then, and he will do incredible work. Cape Town, sunny Hertfordshire, Sherwood Forest. Shout out to the Arrow guy that I can't remember the name of right now. Springbank Island, Canberra, Australia. More Australia love. Sydney, South Australia. Hey, Australia. London, Copenhagen, Denmark. Canvey Island, Turks and Caicos. I've butchered that to just such a ridiculous degree. Marbella, baby, watching from Malta, Cornwall, and from our farm today. All right, Ionix. Didn't know you had the green fingers, my friend. Gotham City. Watch out for all of the crimes, Scott. I hope you're avoiding that well. North Carolina, love that more. Respect for it. Bromley. Let's go. Pennsylvania. Watching from Dover. Love to see that. Mixel. Good to see you, bro. Hope you're well. Hope you're good. Let's keep scrolling. Melbourne, more just love for the Australia. North of Rome in Italy. Brian, vibes. Yes. Love that. There will be one soon. I will say that, Drippy. There usually isn't one until right before the game kicks off, but there will be a stream link in there soon. While we go through the rest of these, let's have a little look at Sub Bingo, shall we? Sub Bingo is, of course, the game where we predict when David Moyes will make his first substitution. I'll put the subs up on your screen now so you can just see them. If you want the vibes, of course, you don't have to say the exact person, or you can if you want bonus points. It's more about the time in which they do it in. But remember, yeah, stream links will be coming up just before the game. They usually there. The mods will get on it, although early kickoff is usually a bit rough for us because they're like me. Yeah, well, he would be. He's sitting there in a West Ham shirt. Melbourne, Northern Ireland, Seoul, Cape Town, Wales, Malaysia. We don't win. HDU. I could never do that to my boy. You know? I could never do that to my boy. Sydney, Malta, Sydney, watching from my kitchen. Love that. Hackney Hammers. Big up, Fred. What are we saying? Wick? What are we saying? Central? Don't dox yourself. Don't tell me. It's fine. I don't know why I'm asking. I just like talking about Hackney. What a place. What a terrifying place. How's things? Good. I feel like crap, but good in vibes times. Checkman here. Big up, Peter. Big up, Peter. Sorry, Peter. Love that. Fort McMurray, Northern Alberta, Canada. Up. Yes. Ian. Good to see you, by the way. Hope you're having a grand old time. Madison, is it not on telly? It is not in the UK, unfortunately, Aaron. It is not in a van down by the river. Respect it. Thailand as well. What's he here too? Flipping hell. You'd love to see it. Ramsgate, Dublin, Melbourne, Perth, Dublin, sofa, front room, big. Watching on a train journey up. Maybe the most movement we've had from a watcher, Michael. You know, don't usually see that. You love to see it though. But yeah, like I said, when you're talking about that will be there just before kickoff usually. Arkansas. Why is this one Arkansas? What's one Arkansas and this one not Arkansas? America, explain. Love that, Noah. Bless up the overseas handlers for Bittericky, says Dave. What it is gross. I'm glad we're coming back on this. And then we'll move on to sub bingo. Let's keep scrolling down. Oh my god, there's so many flipping out. Let's just Democratic Republic of Congo. Love that. Luhansk, Texas, Ontario. It was Danny DeVito. He's fallen over. I have to deal with that. The moon. China, Philippines. So many. So flipping many. Stroud, Lisbon, San Antonio. There's a hell of a lot. Let's have a look at some of these sub bingos though. I have to scroll pretty far. The chat is going absolutely wild right now. So you apologize me if I miss it. Also, yes, like the video. If you haven't already, by the way, subscribe because we were the only West Ham channel last season who did watch along every single match day. And we're hoping to keep that up as much as humanly possible this season. I probably will miss one or something. You know how these things work. But make sure to hit that bell button so you don't miss out on future videos because we literally couldn't do it without you. This is me by myself. I need you here in order to be able to do it with me. Otherwise, it just it would never work out. It would never work out. And like the video while you're there, like you said, we're going to aim to try and get as many as possible. We hit high numbers 2 times in a row. And I tell you what, we're rocking and rolling on that front already. Again, 260. If we could all just go ham. 300 was usually our every game goal, but we've smashed past that into just shy of 500, 2 shows in a row. So let's see what we can do today. We're at 270 already, which is absolutely mad. If we hit the 300 before we even go. 70th minute, Scamaca for Antonio, 55, 45, half-time sub, 88 minutes, depressingly accurate. Our greatest one is you ran it. No, neither, unfortunately, although we are accepting sponsorship opportunities at this point. Farag, Iceland, 76th minute, Antonio for Scamaca, 45 minutes, 65, Dublin, Tower Hamlets, double sub, Downs and on Lanzini, Souček for 4 and Souček and 4 nows. Okay, Scamaca, Antonio first minute, Sydney's on BT Sport Sky. It is not, unfortunately, Danny Woolwich, Cornet for 4 nows, Los Angeles, 6 a.m. Flipping LTK. I feel like it's 6 a.m., but you've actually got a 6 a.m. Double sub, Downs and Lanzini for Souček for 4 nows. 65 minutes, GS for Ant. Take that. Would you rather eat? Neither. And you can't make me, Drippy. You can't make me. We've got less than a minute to go until kickoff. Remember, I have a timer here which will say exactly how long it is into the game. If you want to, respect it. How's the pirate? Hope you enjoy your Krabby Patty. Good. The back's a little bit broken, so balancing it was an issue. So if you want to stick around, remember to stick around because Gio will be back at half time and then we can have a conversation with someone who actually understands football and not just me being an absolute moron. However, I will be here for the entire game, entire first half, entire second half, and in full time, Gio will be back, like I say, with Gonzo for a full time review. There is a timer in the top corner, so if you want to know exactly how far behind you I am, and I probably will be, given what I'm in North Idaho, then you can see. Remember, subscribe, like the video, all of that good stuff. And once more, with feeling, if you are looking for a way to watch the game, then I would recommend the Hammers Chat Discord. Scroll down in the link in the description below, down to where it says join our Discord. Completely free to join up. Lovely Hammers Chat West Ham community fans of all clubs welcome, but more importantly, on the left-hand side, if you scroll down, you'll find stream links and you will find what you're looking for. It won't be straight away. Like I said, it's usually just before kickoff, before kickoff. But hopefully they will be there. The mods should be on top of it. Like I say, earlier kickoffs, usually worse for us, Discord lot. I can't lie to you, but hopefully they will be there. Hopefully it'll be there. Thank you everyone for watching. I'm excited today. I'm excited. Let's get some score predictions. Last final score predictions. You've had an hour of build-up. We know the teams in detail. We've spoken about where we're at. We've spoken about when the subs were happening. We've spoken about confidence levels. What is your score prediction, ladies and gentlemen? Getting in chat. Final chance. It's West Ham United versus Brighton and Hove Albion at the London Stadium. I am excited. I hope you are too. Don't get me wrong. It's not like there's not a significant amount of trepidation and nerves there, because there is. It's Brighton. However, thank you very much, my mentor. However, can't act like I'm not excited and confident. And we are underway. Come on, you Irons. Deploy the boys. Time to run two things. Let's go. Let's go. Brighton with the early kickoff. Sorry, Brighton with the kickoff. Early doors, looking for it forwards. Mark it on your calendars. But instantly pressed backwards. Let's have a look at some of these score predictions, shall we? Let's have a gander. 2-2. 3-1, 2-1, 1-1. 3-0. Yeah. Yeah. 2-2, 3-2. Oh. The football judge has spoken, says Isle of Skye, and that is apparently Isle of Skye, which I will 100% back. Congratulations on a win today, maybe 2-0-2-1. Isle of Skye bringing it down. The judge has spoken, ladies and gentlemen. Now, imagine if that's correct. We're all just going to have to agree with whatever Isle of Skye says in the future. 2-1, a tricky draw, 26-0 to the Irons. You love to see it. 2-0, 2-0, 3-1, Bowens to score. Hi, Charlie. Good to see you, Wedgie. 3-1, Brighton 2-1, 1-0. Really exciting stuff. Antonio scoring 3-1, says Judas 1-1. What else we got? 1-1, Antonio, Bowen, broken hamstring on migraine. Listen, we'll take that all. Ben Rama on the ball. Taking it towards the inside. Hits it from range. It's a good hit. Oh. Just fires it just wide. A nice early try from Saeed Benrahma. Picks up the ball in the sort of position he likes to have it, sort of deeper, wide, able to cut in and go for it. He sprints onto a sort of lofted through ball, which I don't know if it was meant to be that good, but it was good. Picks up, cuts inside, charging down the defender, hits it. It ends up firing wide, but it's a nice opportunity. That's the sort of thing you want from Saeed Benrahma. That's the way you get the best out of Benrahma. 3-1, 1-1, 3-1. Radio commentary. There you go. Thank you very much, Daniel. That's good intel. Radio commentary, everyone. London Radio 721. So if you're looking for radio commentary, there you go. Thank you very much, Daniela, by the way. 3-1. Love that. We'll back it. 1-0 to the Hammers. Benny, that wasn't open out. See, that's what I'm saying. This is where you get the best of him. 3-2, 3-0. Break the curse. Yes. Let's game. Let's go. I'm definitely not watching on Footy Pass. I'm watching in my holiday home, but also the first one. 6-0, like back into flipping out. Ranex, you're a wild person, and I respect it. I respect it. Lots more confidence. Like I say, confidence in chat sort of fluctuating. There's some big confidence. There's some lesser confidence, right? I'm gonna go. See, before this, I would have said 1-1. I would have said 1-1. That was going to be my score prediction. I can't lie. But now, I don't know. Maybe the pre-game hype is just getting to me a bit exciting, a bit of vibes. I'm going to say 2-1 West Ham. What's the worst that can happen apart from us losing? Good, the interception for Declan Rice. Benrahma picks up the ball. Fornals is charging forward. He finds Antonio out on the left-hand side. Fornals sprinting through the middle. Antonio looking to take on the defender. Dunk, he puts it on the back post. Boom was there. It was well defended in the end by Veltman. But found a bit of space down that left-hand side. It was a nice pass down the line to Mikel Antonio, who looked to take on his man with a bit of pace. It was the fastest I've ever seen Mikel Antonio in a while. I can't lie to you. Since that sort of first season, that's kind of first season Antonio where he'd see someone and he'd cut for it and go for them. Takes it down the left-hand side, just sort of floats it across. It wasn't the most... It wasn't an unreal cross. It was one of those ones where you're just sort of floating it into an area and hoping for the best. And Bowen was there, but obviously with a three at the back, Brighton, who are not small, was never going to win that. He was lining up for a volley if it did, but still. Kurt Zouma going for a big boot up. Big boot up the pitch. Really sure why we would do that, but he's gone for it anyway. Oh. My G, how are you, sir? How are things? I hope you're well. I hope you're good. Bro, if you lot haven't subscribed to Hammers Fans United, right? My man kills the shorts game, okay? Killing the shorts game. Just bopping them out left, right, and center. Bop, 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 okay? So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. But also, when Titch does do shows, sick. Man puts an effort. Man's out here. He also did an incredible job on the West Ham Random Show last night. The edited one. That was Titch who edited it. And did a brilliant job, an incredible job. So if you haven't seen that already, I would go and highly check that out. But Titch, hope you're well, my friends. Hope you're well. Hope you're good. Would have changed the lineup? I probably would have, yeah. I can't lie to you. I probably would have. But that's David Moyes. I mean, but if I was to change it, I don't know what I would change, to be fair. I think the 4-3-3 thing worked for us in the last game against Nottingham Forest. And so I'd be tempted to go with that again. And in that sense, I think, Souček did well in that game. He was looking like a big threat without a sort of 10 ahead of him. He had that space to get in and around the box. And that really sort of ended up working for him. Bowen, probably I would have considered taking out because he's been so poor so far this season. But then in the European game, he obviously scored and looked brighter than he had done. So it's difficult. It's difficult to suggest what I would have changed. Like, I feel like I probably would have, but certainly in this formation as well, I think Antonio sort of, I don't know, it's hard. I don't blame him for not changing, but at the same time, I feel like there would have to be a change. Awful touch from this kind of Antonio there. Awful touch. So I don't know. We're going for early, Rob. We're going for early. I'm all right. I've had next to no sleep. I feel horrendous. Physically, I feel horrendous. But mentally, I'm good, bro. Mentally, I'm good. He does. And you have to respect it, Logan. If I didn't love him enough, I've always liked Graham Potter. I thought he's a brilliant manager. One of my favourites in the Premier League. One of the topper tier ones in the Premier League, especially outside of the top 6 or top 3, I guess. And now he's got a great beard to boot. It's difficult not to love. It's difficult not to love and respect, Don't know, Trish. Oh, that's a good ball over the top of Benny Welbeck. He gets the control, but it allows West Ham to get back. It does well to get the control and keep possession from Brighton because it looked like one of those ones where it could have just easily mistouched and gone out of thing. But well done. Brighton maintain possession even though West Ham are completely back into their defensive shape. They're passing it around just sort of outside the area, looking to try and play the ball into a cross. Caro gets the header away. Antonio working for that, wins the ball back, but some head tennis later. And Fornals does really well. Just inventive pass to get that out to Benrahma and keep possession where it looked like it was going to end straight at the feet of Ben at Brighton. Benrahma forward to Antonio on this left-hand side. Something Scamacca doesn't give you. Good ball across by Declan Rice to Soufal, who's looking to try and put a cross in. Blocked. We'll take a deep throw in. Or nip my nose and call me Natalia. It's trying to try. Madman, how are you, sir? I hope you're well. Hope you're having a grand old time. I'll take that. I'll take a bit of nip my nose. Why not? Just had a thought. I was like, is the timer working? It is working. We're doing well. This is a really good start from us. This is really exciting. We're actually on top of them. I know, shock, we're on top of a team, but it's happening. Down that left-hand side to Mikel Antonio again, who's just consistently, the crossing was nothing to write home about, and it's caught by Sanchez. Mikel Antonio is finding consistently a hell of a lot of space down that left-hand side, picking it up. We're punting it to him, either over the top or on the ground, and he's picking it up and just running at dunk. It's vacating a lot of space, so we want to be seeing ideally Thomas Souček getting into those areas if possible. That's the aim, that's the vibe, that's what we need. So when that cross does eventually come in, we have someone who's able to get their head on the end of it. Like, we've seen Bowen scored headed goals in the past, but let's be real, he's not a headerer. So that's what we want to see. We want to be seeing Thomas Souček getting in and around those areas, which hasn't quite happened yet. We'll see how that goes. Brighton trying to get forward, and they just don't have the numbers. They just don't have the numbers to be passing even into our half at this point. Very stretched now, Brighton. Very stretched in possession. Trossard on this left-hand side. He's the one who's starting at left wing back, which is quite scary. He's pretty flipping just attacking. It's a scary prospect to say, oh, their wing back is basically going to be standing behind Vladimir Coufal when he goes forward, and it's Trossard. Do you know what I mean? Ben Rama wins a throw. We'll take that. Is header a word? Probably not. Probably not. But, you know, well, I've said it now. When you're live, you get one chance. And I find that you just need to own what you say. Header, ladies and gentlemen, is now a word. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Yeah, it's pronounced like Federer. Header. Where's the confusion here? Where's the confusion? Bro, it's just facts. It's just facts. But anybody can play up front and not what you would call head of time. Yes, yeah. I mean, look, I don't necessarily. I'm not saying we need like massive men all over the pitch. It's more just that we know we're going to cross the ball. And if Mikel Antonio is out there, he's the only guy. Although he hasn't scored a header, I don't know how many headers he scored in the last 3 years, but it feels like none to me. I would be willing to bet in the last 3 years, Mikel Antonio has scored single footer headers, 1 or 2 max. In the Premier League, at least. So you would want him to be in there, or Thomas Souček, who is a good headerer. Whipped into the ball, but Brighton. Oh, it's bounced through. Welbeck was there. Trossard at the back post, then tried to just cut it back across. Doesn't quite work out. All of a sudden, it felt like Brighton were just sort of taking their time there, and it didn't feel particularly dangerous. And yet, out of nowhere, they find a little space to get the cross in. Do it, and then if Danny Welbeck could get his head on that, maybe it was a little bit over him, and it would have been a scary, dangerous thing to behold. Still, anyone remember Antoine? It was a time to be alive. I'll tell you that much. It was a time to be alive. Unfortunately, that time is no longer now. That time is no longer now. Change this. I wish. I don't know why he doesn't get headed goals anymore. I guess because he's under Dave Moyes, he's got a lot more responsibilities than just sort of playing on the wing and arriving late into the box and flying in on it. But, you know. Brighton with a corner, left-hand side. Whipped in. Fabianski collects that one calmly. It's way too close to Fabianski. Way too close to Fabianski. But, and then throws it at the back of Fornells, and Brighton recollect the ball. Listen, as someone who had, thank you, correct. As someone who says left-hand foot almost every 5 seconds, you know. Good forcing back though, forcing Brighton all the way back to their goalkeeper Sanchez, playing it around amongst their defense. We've shown a willingness to sort of press these situations in pre-season and in the first couple of games. We just need to make sure that we don't overpress to some extent, although I feel like it. A bit of Gagan, let's go for it. Cresswell, Ben Rama, Rice failing to link up there. Ben Rama just trying a short pass to Rice, doesn't work out. don't know, how do we feel about the Rice sort of exasperated feels all the time? I don't know. Unfortunately, Street Guys, it is not on United Kingdom television, and so you can watch it. You'll have to watch it through other means. Jared Bowen's through in a beautiful position, plays it across to Antonio, can't quite find it. Jared Bowen again hits it, deflects off the defender, and Antonio works well for it. He's offside. There was a moment where it seemed like potential penalty shout, not going to happen. It is going to be a goal kick in the end anyway, I believe. And, well, it was offside, so I think it's going to be a free kick anyway. Down the line to Jared Bowen. Really nice. And it's he maybe should have played it across to Ben Rama as the shout from Jared Bowen there. Mikel Antonio storming through in the center of the park, going towards the penalty spot, and he tries to lay it short to him. Ben Rama was just behind him and had a bit more space. Instead, he tries to go for Mikel Antonio, who on a second attempt goes for it, battles with Sanchez, loses, but it was offside. But West Ham recollect the ball pretty quickly. So, thank you very much, HDU. Wrong, but I appreciate it. If you're looking for a way to watch the game, by the way, there are ways to do it. Wrong, but fair. I'll take that. Yeah, I think he should have picked out Ben Rama as well. He was in better space. Tell you what, Brighton are struggling a little bit here. With the way we're playing. They're not enjoying the sort of direct passing straight into sort of feet of Mikel Antonio. They're not vibing that anywhere near as much as I would have thought they would, to be fair. So I'm not against it. I can't say I'm against it. I'm struggling today. I can't lie with just watching the game. Yeah. Fair. It's too small for me, but I'll do it at halftime, Stephen. I will do it, and you'll see it's a mess if I wear that one. But we'll take this. I'm way behind. I'm like a minute even behind where I was previously, but we'll take it. I will try to do. Oh, if I remember, Stephen, I'll do it. Mikel Antonio just sort of letting the ref know to sort of pay attention to sort of the fouls and the sort of stuff. I think Mikel Antonio has been looking a bit frustrated in the last couple of games, especially in the Forest game. There were times where he was being, let's be honest, completely manhandled, and he was clearly getting very frustrated by that fact. And so he's sort of early-ish telling the referee, just keep an eye on this, because he's been pulled back for a foul there, despite the fact you'd maybe say it wasn't a foul. I don't know. We'll see. But Brighton aren't comfortable at all right now. Brighton are not comfortable. We've started this game well. Pablo Fornals completely mishits that, and Kurt Zouma, big clearance, just comes in and says, no, we'll take that. We will take that. But yeah, like I say, Brighton not comfortable. They're passing it around at the back. They obviously are a team who tend to pass out from the back in general. It's not like they don't. But they're just, I don't know. It's not happening for them today right now so far. So far, we've nailed it. I'll be honest, we've nailed it. We'll see how it goes, but so far, so good. Brighton trying to pass it around, and we're just on top of them instantaneously. The thing is I don't believe we can and would keep up this sort of pressure. And Brighton, the fact that we're sort of being able to do it relatively early allows us to do it further up the pitch. That's big ball over the top, looking for Danny Welbeck, and there's a foul. Don't know, for a push, I think. Anthony Taylor pulled him back for a push, I believe. Not entirely sure what happened, but there we go. Like I say, the fact we're doing it earlier allows us to do it further up the pitch, because once our opposition tends to get in and around the sort of halfway line, then it is one of those things where we tend to drop down at that point and get very deep. And so the fact that we're allowing ourselves to sort of be a bit more on the front foot and do it further up the pitch is nullifying Brighton quite a bit, and they're ending up just sort of hoofing it more often than they would probably want to. And we're winning those. It's exactly what opposition teams usually do to us. And actually, we're winning those long balls today as well towards our strikers. It's not just in the opposite direction where again, nice pressure from the front line. Thomas Souček and Declan Rice teaming up to win that one. It's one of those things where, it's kind of working out for us in that sense. because those long balls forward to the attacking players are doing the exact same thing, and they are working out for us. They are 100% working out for us, which isn't something that we've seen super often. Can't lie, I'm sure the timer might stop again in a second because lineup, of course. Where's the button? Don't know why I pressed it off. I'm not gonna lie to you. There you go. The timer may stop again in a second because I currently cannot see the game. So the streams today are all kinds of whack here in North Idaho. In the words of Peach. Hope Oggy gets some time today. I tell you what, he looked right. He looks right in the last game. There was a level of composure there that hasn't been seen for a hot minute. There was a level of it, and I enjoyed it. I'm not saying he's the answer, or it was going to be consistent, or just going to come straight back in, or anything like that. But I'll tell you what, he did well. He did better than I thought he was going to, and it gives me sort of hope that maybe perhaps that's something we could look into more. I don't know. We'll see. Seeing some words in the chat which are frustrating me. Seeing the Paul from Kara, Pen, Zuma. I'm seeing lots of words, and I'm not seeing much action. It's annoying. It's annoying. Why now? Why now? Why now? Keep me updated, chat, please. Keep me updated because I'm in trouble here. I'm in trouble. Okay, right. I can see it's Kara with the tackle. Danny Welbeck's flying through. It's very close. It's very, very close. I don't know whether or not I've only seen. It looks like a foul. It looks like it's definitely contact. I'll say that. It's whether or not is in or outside the area. Is right on the line. It's right on the line. It's Kara who does it. Looking very... He just sort of dives in. To be fair, it's one of those ones where you look at it and you say you kind of have to. We're looking now at whether or not it was inside the box or not. That's unbelievably close. If it's on the line, it's in the box, is the way it goes. Kara slides in. Danny Welbeck's through. If he doesn't do that, then Danny Welbeck's getting a shot off at goal. So I don't blame him necessarily for it. He's picked up a yellow. Contact on the line. It's going to be a penalty. Pascal Gross, I would imagine, take it, although maybe not. Trossard seems to be the one holding the ball, I think. Frustrating because, like I say, what's McAllister is going to take it. Fabianski's a good penalty saver, to be fair. Fabianski's a good penalty saver, to be fair. I don't know how good McAllister is at pens. But Fabianski's a decent penalty saver. Try not to look at chat because I know you'll be ahead. Good pen. Good pen. Slots it in bottom corner. It's 1-0 to Brighton. Frustrating because, like I said, we've been doing so well. We've been doing so well. We've been in control of the game. We've been the better team. We've been putting them under pressure. We've been putting them in situations they weren't enjoying. Those balls down the left-hand side, getting into spaces they didn't like. The centre-backs were looking a little bit all over the place, but it was always down that left-hand. It's a very good penalty right in the bottom right-hand corner. Just sends Fabianski completely the wrong way. Just slots it home. You've got to respect it. It's frustrating because we've done well today. We've looked like a better team. We've looked better than we usually do. And the fact that they have just been able to slot that penalty away, I don't necessarily blame Kehrer. I'd have to look at the full thing again to see exactly where blame would lie. You know, that idea of show me a goal, show you a mistake, as Geo likes to say. I think I'd have to look at it all again in full motion to really get grips on what exactly I think went wrong there. But when the ball does come through, you kind of have to say Kehrer has to dive. He almost has to dive in, otherwise Danny Welbeck's going to take a shot to some extent. And it's right on the edge of the area, right on the edge of the area. It could not be closer to not being a penalty if it tried. But unfortunately, like I say, it looked like it was potentially probably on the line. So it is what it is. But we're starting strong. We're starting strong. We're harrying them, winning the ball back right outside their area, rushing them, pushing them. Keep pressing. Come on, Souček, go for it. Forces a long ball and Declan Rice with the interception. Let's go. That's perfect. Let's come at them again. Sufal goes down, free kick. We'll take that. We're looking for this now. We have to push it. We have to go for it. Again, we've been really good this half so far. We've been really good. A single situation like that happens, it happens. Let's get back at them. Let's keep the push. Let's keep the press, and let's get back into this game. Free kick, right-hand side, right next to the touchline. About not in line with the area at all. Probably a couple of steps back from that. Bowen takes it. Ooh, Antonio almost got his head on it. Souček was also there at the back. It's going to be a corner. Corner we'll take. Corner we will take. Not exactly anywhere close to go again, but we'll take the corner from it. Pablo Fornas is going to take it from the left-hand side. All of the big boys in there. Antonio in there as well. Floated towards the back. Zuma heads it back towards goal. Sanchez easily claims. Not a good one. Not a good one. I think we've been playing really well, Titch. I think we've been the better team. We've been taking it to them higher up the pitch. We've been pressing them higher up the pitch. We've converted our defense to attack much more successfully than we usually do. We've been finding Mikel Antonio with a lot of joy down that left-hand side. It's just a shame that it's happened. Like, that's not to say there wasn't anything from them. They had one or two moments where they had flashes of getting forward, but it was never consistent or scary. It was always just a case of, you know, we were the top team. So the fact that it's happened is happened. That's very frustrating. We were. I mean, if you don't think we were, we don't think we were, but we definitely were, MH. Gross trying to get the ball in. Corner. Cresswell couldn't quite keep it out. Corner. It wasn't a great challenge, but I don't blame him. He had to try and do something. Like, it wasn't a great challenge, though. We can't lie. Remember, if you're looking for a way to watch the game because Footy Pass or just during the UK and you can't watch it, isn't working, then have a look in the description below. I would also say, while we're there, to subscribe. We were the only West Ham YouTube channel to do a watch along every single match day last season, and we're looking to try and carry that on as much as we can in the future. So if you haven't already, shot from range to flex off several times. It's going to be another corner. It wasn't a particularly great shot, but they've got a corner out of it, so they'll take it. So if you haven't already, hit the bell notification while you're there and like the video. Like I say, 300 is usually the goal, but we've flown past that. We're at 325 right now. You've just hit shy of 500 both of the last two streams while we were live. We've subsequently crossed it, so thank you very much to everyone who liked the video. But we're incredibly close to getting 500 both times. Can we match that today? Corner gets whipped in. Oh, it's chested down. Oh, that's a nice idea from Trossard. Couldn't quite manage it. It was chested down in the area from the corner. It came floated in, and maybe a header from Veltman would have been better, but Veltman just sort of calmly chests it down towards, I'm not sure who, and then it bounces back out towards Trossard, who on the volley, it's a nice idea first time, but it's just one of those ones where it's swerving slightly away from goal the entire time. Affers, Ben, good to see you, by the way. Hope you're well, bro. Hello, Ben. Affers is one of the mods in our Discord, so if you're looking for a thing, coming through with the info. It's probably mine. For some reason, I can see it's running slow, and I don't know why. I don't know why. Baby Bell time? This early doors? This early doors? Wild. Wild. By the way, I will say, if you feel like someone's trolling in the chat, just leave it. You know what I mean? Just ignore it. It's fine. Corner comes in, header towards goal. Nowhere close to the goal, but it bounces in a weird way. Fabianski looked to try and come for it first, but doesn't quite make it. But yes, if you think someone's trolling, just ignore them. Do you know what I mean? Just ignore them. It's all Brighton now, MH. Yeah, 100% it is. I'll give you that. It definitely is all Brighton now. It wasn't. It was not, but it is now. I'll tell you that much. It is now. Since the goal, they've taken control of the game. They've taken control of the game. They're feeling a lot more like the Brighton we know we face usually, and we look a lot more like the West Ham who usually come up against Brighton. Hope for a promising weekend yourself. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right, bro. I feel like crap because I've had no sleep, but outside of that, I'm good. I'm good. Rice tries to loft it across, looking for Jared Bowen, who controls it. Sort of, it's one of those passes where it takes a little bit too long so Brighton get back, but we have possession of the ball at least. Ben Rama on the left, he's in that sort of position I don't really like him too much in. And we're now sort of slowly taking our time to try and kind of fail to break him down. But Ben Rama does well, step over, manages to just keep it. To be fair, don't know how he's managed to keep that in. He's won a corner. We'll take that's not a corner, sorry. A throw. We'll take that. It's that sort of position where you don't like Ben Rama collecting the ball, that corner quadrant by the corner flag on that left-hand side. It sort of nullifies exactly what he wants to do. Oh, it's a nice ball over the top, though, for Bowen, who couldn't quite get there. I don't know if it's going to be a corner or a goal kick. It's going to be a goal kick. Bowen's making suggestions to say, how is that not a corner? But, you know, it's a goal kick, mate. Ball over the top. It would have taken a hell of a lot to get there, to be fair. A hell of a lot to get there, still. It's getting frustrating. This game's getting a little bit more frustrating now. Like I say, I think the first sort of 15 minutes, 20 minutes or so, I felt like we were the better team. I felt like we were on top of them. I felt like we were putting them under a lot of pressure. We were finding a lot of joy and success down the left-hand side with Mikel Antonio. And part of that was we had space to go into. As the game has progressed and they've scored, Brighton have certainly got back on top of the game and have sort of started to play like the Brighton we know, and we've started to struggle like we always do against Brighton. How you change that, I don't know. There's an obvious answer in which you say you substitute, say, Mikel Antonio for Scamacca, but I don't know how much that would change things. It probably would, but it obviously, you all of a sudden you lose one piece of mobility from the front line, so it is what it is. Why are you watching? It's frustrating to watch. It's frustrating to watch, and something needs to change. Something needs to change because the further this half goes on, the worse it's getting for us. Like I said, I didn't feel like we could carry on and continue that press with the pace and speed and pressure and everything else we were doing in the early stages of the game. It was always going to drop off at some point. I was hoping it'd be a bit later than this, but it was always going to drop off at some point. But we are sort of now allowing Brighton to sort of do whatever they kind of want, and it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating. Are you okay, bro? Are you okay? Like, are you all right? Because I read that and I feel like you're not okay. Are you okay? I hope you are. I hope you're all right. It's very weird. Very weird of you, and I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, the crowd is turning. The crowd is very much turning right now. This is why we're always scared. This is why we're always scared. I know how far behind I am at age. I'm aware. I'm aware. West Ham, it's again, we just got back. It's frustrating to watch. It's just frustrating to watch. Is how do we change this? How do we switch this up? Kerr is aggressive as hell. My man steps forward. He really does come forward. Which I'm okay with. I don't know if David Moyes will be, but I am. Cal did a really good article on Analytics United about Kera, which if you haven't read, I would highly recommend you go and check it out. And speaking about that sort of like aggressive press, like stepping out and the sort of stepping out of basic defense there again, just come flying out and tackling. And I'd be interested to see sort of how he ends up fitting into a Moyes team who aren't that, who are not people who try and instigate. There are people who definitely allow it onto you and then figure it out from there. There we go. Just a little bit of pressure forces them to just punt it long. I mean, Trossard does really well to keep that one in, to be fair to him, but that's what I'm saying. They've won a throw in a decent position. I'm just saying that was better from us, and it just took a single press from Mikel Antonio, just running at him. Brighton fan here, and always love our games with you guys, as you probably would. As you probably would. Only 3 games in, you would definitely be up for top 7 or 8 by the end of the season. Thank you. I like Brighton a lot, and I can appreciate why you would like our games. Let's be real, you get a lot of success in them. So. Fornals finds Ben Rama. Then look to sort of try and find Fornals. Doesn't quite work out. Thankfully, we win the ball back straight away. Passing it around the defensive area. There's a roar coming from the home side now. I feel like there's something to be got from this movement, but it has slowed down massively. Declan Rice just sort of strolling around the pitch at a glacial pace, trying to find something. Souček so foul. Souček getting into the area, which is sort of what you want to see, but Brian forcing us back pretty deeply and quickly. Rice doing well there, linking up. Passing was a bit iffy. Wouldn't mind if he got back a bit faster than that, but a huge ball over the top looking for Danny Welbeck, who's going to get on the end of it. Counter-attacking striker. That's the way he rolls. Finds Trossard, who runs into the area, pulls it across that sort of pullback area, always dangerous for us. But thankfully, Aaron Cresswell there is the first one to get on the end of it. It was close, though. I'll tell you that much. It was close. McAllister with a nice turn and pass, slotted through, looking for Danny Welbeck, but Kera does well. Fabianski had it covered if he wasn't there, but Kera did really well to cover that one. And it's punted forward again. We're at that stage now where the vibe is just punt it clear. We're under that pressure, we're under the caution. When you do that to West Ham, that's what we do. We just start hoofing it. And that way the opposition just recollect possession instantaneously. That's what's happening again here. Yeah, no, I agree. I think Brighton are probably underrated. I think to be fair, I think Brighton are an underrated side. I would agree with that. I like them a lot. I like Potter a lot. I like a lot of Brighton's players. I think they've quietly gone about building a team of underrated players. What's always said is the sort of better than the sum of your parts, and I think that's probably true. It is. Camilla Parker Bowles, a shout out. I was sorry, I was just reading your comment. I didn't click it up because I had to make sure before I did what was going to happen with it. But what a comment. What, in fact, when in doubt, remember how absolutely shocking United were, Manchester United side, where my Charles could do better with his cotton socks and leg warmers and turnip hat and brought him for spuds. Ed T, fair play. If you do, I respect a character on YouTube. That's a wild one. That's a wild one. Brighton playing it around. We've really struggled the last 15 minutes. Brighton have completely taken control of the game. That early sort of vibe, the early excitement has completely dissipated, and now Brighton are 100% in control of this game. Lallana finds Danny Welbeck again, who's just sprinting at the defense, just causing issues, showing me up because I don't think he's very good. But to be fair, the last season and a bit, he's shown his worth. So maybe I need to reevaluate that opinion. Leeds 2-0 up. Big. Respect it. I saw Afas talking about it. Where is it? Transcript. I respect it. I respect it. Souček again, just that. Again, Brighton are just doing exactly what they need to right now. They're just, oh, that's nice though. Little 1-2. Souček tries to just find Antonio in the home crowd. Are very unhappy about it. It's a very frustrating situation. Maybe, the ball came to him very quickly. I don't know what he could have done with it. But Brighton are doing exactly what they need to do. Just narrow down our passing lanes and we will just kick it at you. And then you can just have it. That's what we do every single time. And it's happening again. Trossard down the left-hand side. Does well. Cuts inside. Goes for the shot. Blocked. And it's going to be a throw-in down the left-hand side for Brighton. We've had a couple of shots at goal. I think we've had 3 or 4. I don't think any have been on target, but I think we've had 3 or 4. I'd have to check the stats to get the precise number. Brighton trying to pass it around from the throw-in. To be fair, that throw-in was almost as bad as ours usually are. That was pretty awful. Not quite as bad as ours usually are, but still. Play person out by West Ham. Antonio sort of a little bit of if he passed to Ben Rama, but he sort of halts all possession, sort of halts all momentum, but it's fine. Whipped in from Rice towards Bowen for some reason. I don't know why he thought, do you know what I'm going to do? You see Brighton who have tall defenders. I'm going to cross it to Jared Bowen. Oh, aye. Okay. All right. Still, we have possession of the ball, and that's what matters. We have possession of the ball, and Brighton are forced back into a defensive shape. Now, we're not good at breaking it down, but they're at least there. You know what I mean? They're not finding us in the middle of the park. They're at least there. Antonio again on that left-hand side, going up against Veltman now. Switch places with Dunk, I'm not sure, but going up against Veltman where he was going up against Dunk in the first sort of 20 minutes and was getting a lot of joy against him. West Ham with a throw, lost 30, 40 yards. Because, you know. Bless you. Transition season, I feel like you're not wrong. I feel like there is a sort of level of. I feel like there is a sort of part of us which are maybe looking to do something more than we were doing. We've played very similarly for several years with a lot of the same players. A bit awkward from Brighton there and cleared away. We'll take a throw in that sort of area. It's very high up the pitch. We're awful at it, but we'll try it. The ball forward bounces in a weird way. Veltman gets a little bit under himself, under pressure from Jared Bowen, ends up just punting it clear, and we take a throw in. And it wasn't the most awful throw in you've ever seen. Now, was it any good? No, it wasn't. I think there is a sort of level of transition to it. Potentially, we've played the same way with the same group of players for a couple of seasons, and it stood us in good stead. But in order to take the next step forward and be a bit more I'll say this very quickly. MH, like, don't get me wrong, you're aggravating, you're trolling, and that's fine. I don't mind. I'm fine with a troll, right? But if you do continue to just straight up try to aggravate people, I will just ban you. Because I don't mind. I don't care you being here, right? I'm happy to have a conversation with you about Brighton, about football, everything else. But I'm just letting you know, if you do try to just directly aggravate people, which is basically what you're doing, let's be real about it. And you can say, oh, I was telling the truth. Not, we both know what you're doing. Okay, that's fine. Just know that if you do continue to just try and directly aggravate people, I will just get rid of you. Okay, just know that I'm giving you the warning. I'm not just going to do it. I'm just giving you the warning because you can have a conversation clearly. Right? I'm just letting you know. Good opportunity down the line. Sufal does really well to even keep that one in. The cross was never going to happen, but it is what it is. It is what it is. He does really well to keep that one in, Vladimir Sufal. The ball looked dead and buried from Jarrod Bowen to him. It was really far ahead of him, but he was on the afterburners. I didn't know he had it in him, bless, and he managed to get there and then just sort of lofts it in towards the box. But again, we're never going to win that header. We're never, ever, ever going to win that header. There's over 800 of you in here right now. So I'll let you know again, we were the only West Ham channel last season who did a watch along for every single game. The only one. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss out on future videos, and like the video. I'm determined to get over 500 today. I know I keep saying it and I apologize, but I'm determined. We're at 350 right now, and we have come dangerously close to 500 both of the last two streams. And I want to hit that 500 while we're live. So if we could get there, that would be mad. That would be mad. So hit the like video if you're not there. Remember as well to stick around at halftime because myself and Geo will be discussing the game. I'll run off and you can actually hear someone who's smart talk about the game as opposed to just me. And then I'll be back. And then, of course, here for the entire second half. And then we'll be live with a full match review straight after the game as well. So if you haven't already, just, maybe grab a cuppa, get settled in for a nice afternoon of entertainment. Because hopefully we can provide it. Because right now, West Ham are not. It's frustrating. It's really frustrating because I felt like we'd actually sort of done it. I felt like we cracked the code. I felt like we could see the matrix. 15 minutes of nice, good football. We were making it happen. Gio will probably be quite angry. Gio probably will be quite annoyed. And remember, if you're looking for a way to watch the game, there are ways to do it. Frustrating because I felt like we'd cracked the code and we've just sort of succeeded it to them massively. I think there is just a little bit of a problem where if the opposition do get to the halfway line, we do drop very deep and we tend to compress ourselves. And then that ends up allowing the opposition to just sit on top of us because we're so compressed to defend, because we're trying to defend. And that's fair enough. That makes sense, right? But because we're trying so hard to defend, that succeeds all sorts of possession to the opposition, and then we end up just trying to punt it clear over the top of them because you can't really find anything from them. And it's frustrating because it felt like I said, opening 15 minutes, I do feel like we were a better team. But we're at a stage. Oh, wow, look at that. Bro, it took you minutes to come up with that. Minutes. MH, please. At least before when you were trolling people, you were doing it quickly. You've come up with this, like, how many cry and laugh emojis because you've clearly been got at a little bit. And it took you minutes to come up with that. My G, I'm not even going to ban you. I just think it's quite sad. It's quite sad, but all right, whatever. Fair enough. It's predictable. I agree. It is predictable. It's frustrating because it really is just that, you know? We could have, like I say, I felt like we had a little bit of something going on in the early stage of the game, but at this point, that sort of dissipated massively. It might be something I look into, Fred. It's because I feel like with trolls, right? And I'll say this to MH as well. This is why I'm giving him a chance. I like giving people the chance, right? All punted in. As all of a sudden it's very close, a little bit awkward. Brighton easily clear it away. It wasn't super well, but they get it away and they gain control of the ball. I like giving trolls a chance because they are people. And if you give a lot of people chance, then sometimes they become normal human beings. But, you know, it is what it is. Halftime whistle goes, boos and groans, and it's Brighton 1, West Ham United 0. Penalty that does it. I don't necessarily blame Kera, but again, I do need to have a look at the sort of full length of play because I was struggling to see at the moment. So I do have to sort of look at the full strength of play to see exactly what happened. But a really frustrating half of football. We expected a difficult game against Brighton. We always struggle against Brighton. That's what we do. But made all the more frustrating for me, potentially, because I felt like, if I'm being honest, we had it. That first 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I felt like, or 15 minutes, maybe 20 is a stretch. I felt like we had something going for us, you know? We were building on it. We were putting them under pressure. We were finding Mikel Antonio in space. Said Benrahma was picking up the ball in places he likes to pick up the ball. It felt like for the first 15 minutes of the game, something had happened between us and Brighton where we could make it work, where we could make it happen. And that just disappeared so swiftly. And the rest of that half, the rest of the 25 minutes in that half was just exactly what you always expect. Exactly what you always expect from West Ham versus Brighton. And that is, frankly, Brighton being completely on top of us. And that's what makes it more frustrating almost. Geo, I don't know if you agree with that. I feel like that was a frustrating half for a reason we're losing as a penalty, everything else. But it's almost more frustrating to me because I felt like in the opening 15 minutes, we were actually potentially the better side. And there was something there where I was like, oh, we're having a go in this game. We're giving it a shot. And that's what makes it all the more frustrating for me because since then, it's just been Brighton.
Yeah, I mean, it was a reasonable start by us. We started with a bit of energy and enthusiasm, I guess, which was promising, but then stupidity creeps in and we're 1-0 down. I think, you know, even the last 10 minutes of that half, I think on its own, if you remove the context around the game, you just look at the game on its own, I think we're getting back into the game. You could say there's something there. We're not really tested Sanchez still, but you can't do that. You can't remove the player form coming into this game. You can't remove the fact that we're playing the same formation as that we always play, the same way that we always play. And when you take all them things into consideration, I think that's what makes it frustrating, to be honest with you. I think it's not necessarily just what we've seen. I think it's what we've seen before and we're continuing to see today as well. And I think it's just the fact that this is essentially the fifth half of football in the Premier League for West Ham this season. And all five halves have been largely the same players playing the same way, and we've still yet to score a goal. And I think that's the biggest problem here, rather than the fact that it's the Brighton game, what we've just seen for 45 minutes at London Stadium.
Talk me through the penalty, because I didn't see it properly because of my definite legitimate TV connection was going a bit wonky. Talk me through it very briefly.
Yeah, my TV connection was the same as your TV connection. So I'm not seeing the Zoom part. I need to see the Zoomer part because a lot of people are criticising Zoomer for it. So I'm reluctant to go in two-footed on Kerr, which is essentially what he did on Danny Welbeck to some extent. So I'm not going to talk about how Kerr got into that situation. But, I mean, it is a penalty at the end of the day. He's gone in rash, regardless of whether he should be there or not because of Zuma. He has ended one-on-one with Danny Welbeck on the edge of the area. It's more out the box than in the box, I think, but on the line is considered in the box in football, so it's a penalty by that token, I guess. I've got I'm hoping replays will crop up on the my TV connection here incident, but unfortunately I didn't see it either.
I'm going to run off, but before I do that, very quickly, there is over 1,100 of you in here right now. Subscribe, because we're the only West Ham channel last season who did a watch along every single match day, and we're hoping to continue that as much as possible. So hit the bell notifications button so you don't miss out on any of that. But like the video. Geo, we've been dangerously close to getting 500 likes while we've been live the last 2 games in a row. Today is the day we beat that. Today is the day we beat that. We're at 402, right? 423. We've just jumped up 20. We're beating 500. I don't care. I'm going to keep saying it until it happens. Anyway, Gio, I'll be back in a second. I appreciate
Right. Thank you, Charlie. Let's see what you guys are saying in the live chat. Please do drop a like on the video. It gives Charlie a morale boost, and he does this every single game. I think what I will say, I think Ben Rama's looking brave, I think is what I would suggest. He's attacking Veltman in particular, which is good to see. He's not always working. He's not always beating him. He's sometimes only getting half a yard, and he's trying to get the ball in there. And I think Ben Rama is a promising performance. I want to see him left on in that left wing position in particular, just try and get the ball out to him a bit more. I think there's some players playing better than the previous 2 weeks. Jared Bowen's looking a lot sharper than he did against Nottingham Forest, Manchester City. Still not quite as good as he was last season. I say quite as good, but still not anywhere near as good as last season. I'll be honest with you, I want to see one change at half-time. I would take Souček off and I would put on Gianluca Scamacca. I think I would drop Fornals in beside Declan Rice. Brighton are not a physical team. We don't need Souček in there for the physicality side. Fornals would cope alongside Declan Rice in this game. You can't use Fornals centre midfield in every single game. You'd get exposed. The last 10 minutes of that, we had a lion's share possession, I thought. We were just struggling to do anything with it. We weren't doing anything with it. Get Fornals next to Declan and get Scamacca up front and drop Antonio in. Look at it as a 4-4-2, if you like. Maybe Antonio dropping 5 yards deeper, but keeping him central. Because we put in a couple of crosses, but to sum up West Ham's half, Declan Rice, 5 minutes before half-time, put in a cross to Jared Bowen up against Adam Webster. I think that would sum up how West Ham played for me in the first 45. But let's see what you're all saying in the live chat now. Let's get your thoughts in and what you're all saying. Joshua says Cornet and Scamacca had to start instead of Fornals and Antonio. Moyes has to make those changes. Jeremy would like to see some subs, Souček, Creswell and Antonio. Ashley can't see Zuma lasting the game. Let's see what you're all saying. John says it's a shambles. Zuma's out of position, led to penalty. We're too slow passing. We're not on them when they've got the ball. They're on us as soon as we've got the ball. More intensity and then move the ball faster. We are a little bit slow and ponderous. I think there's big gaps between our players as well. Brighton pass it in nice little triangles, don't they? Ours is like 15-yard chips to each other. There you go. Get on the end of that one, will you? Right, let's see what you're all saying. I'm with Lufton here. Lufton says 4-4-2 and 20. Yeah, I'm like that as well. Simon says that but Moyes keeps talking about how he wants to change the team and develop. Yeah, it's the same tactics and the same players do the same things. Here's the bench to use second half. That's where my frustration comes from. Martino says Souček's been okay today. In fairness, I think it's an okay game for Souček to look okay, if that makes sense. I think when we're out of possession, that last 10-15, Brighton were happy to sit back, but then they're exposing our limitations in possession, I think. I think we need a bit more in the middle of the pitch now. Joshua's, I've already read that without apologies. Let's keep on going. Natural Mystic says, unlike when Brighton have been doing this before, at least we have options on the bench today. We do have a Premier League bench today. Leon saying he doesn't know when Moyes knows how to play 4-4-2. Happy Hammer agrees with myself. He would like to say 4-4-2 as well. D.A. Crossman says, one good pass from Fornals, otherwise he's not been very good. E. Davis says Souček's useless, run around and knocking the ball out. Garino said this is what happens when you do the same thing over and over, expect a different outcome. Moyes has to change it and go 2 up top, put Fornals central next to Rice, Bennett in the centre. Brighton have done excellent business both on and off the field. Well-run club. Joan agrees with oneself, but she knows it won't happen as well. Charlie will be back in a minute. Don't worry. Charlie's just gone for a toilet stop. He'll be back for kickoff in the second half. Don't you worry about it. But when Charlie does come back, I want to see 500 likes on this video. Make sure you subscribe if you're new to Hammer's Chat as well. Chris wonders what game we're watching. Getting a free pass. He's been dreadful. I've not said he's been good. I just said I think he should play next to Declan Rice for this one. I think he's better on the ball than Thomas Souček is. I think he's more progressive on the ball than Thomas Souček is. We're 1-0 down. We need to get the ball up the pitch. Declan Rice is picking the ball up in between our centre backs, but getting his head up and doing the thing when he puts his arms out. I don't like seeing him do it, but I can get where he's coming from. He's basically saying I don't have much options here. His midfield partners happily standing next to a Brighton player. At least Fanal's moves to try and give him the option. Callum says Moyes always said he wants a squad change, but consistently plans the same team. Roger wants to see some changes. Michael doesn't think the formation is working anymore. Luke would like to see Downs come on. I don't know what to do about Fanal, Souček, and Soufal, though. Not good enough. We've got Ashby on the bench, haven't we? I'm pretty sure we've got Ashby on the bench. We do have Ashby on the bench. That's one option. That's an attacking change. If we're going to take Soufal off, I don't want to be for Ben Johnson unless we're winning. If we need a goal and we're going to make a change at full back, it has to be Ashby for me. He's got that crossing side to him. David, speaking about Soufal, says he's a liability going forward. He's got no technical ability. Decision-making is questionable. Turnover prone and can't cross a ball to save his life. Doug says Kerr is going to get sent off if he's not subbed, jumping into tackles while on a yellow. Yeah, I have to admit my heart went on in my mouth. I know exactly what one you're referring to. He sort of got away with it a little bit. It was one of them. I also thought a little bit, don't do that. Michael said we've got no teeth, nothing going forward. We've got a good front 3 or 4, but the 2 wide players are so disconnected from Antonio, and the front 4 are so disconnected from Souček and Rice. Similar to what I was trying to say, there's big gaps between our team, isn't there? Robert wants to go 3-5-2, put the pressure on their centre backs. Carl said we've become very predictable in our play, and teams are finding it easy. Let's keep just saying this. Iron says if we lose and Moyes under pressure. Colm says yesterday Tottenham were poor in the first half against Wolves, came out a different team in the second half. We need the same reaction. Billy missed the first half. Kerr gave away, but Zuma, I believe, was hugely culpable for the situation arising in the first place. Sorry. Let's see what you're all saying. Mikey says he's not keen on David Moyes. He's got no plan B. Boring manager. Anyone who thinks we're winning any silverware under Moyes is seriously deluded. Ryan says we need to change the 3-4-1-2 with Fanals and Rice in centre, Kone left wing back, Antonio and Scamacca up top.
Geo.
Yes.
How do we change it?
I'll just say to the live chat, I would like to see Scamacca on for Souček, drop Fanals back next to Declan Rice. My biggest concern with Fanals as a number 8, if you like, is his lack of physicality. You don't need it against Brighton. They're not a physically imposing side. We've seen in the first half, there's not been many tough duels, if you like. When you get up against their centre-backs, certainly Webster, Duncan, Veltman are 3 tough centre-backs. But in terms of centre midfield, with the greatest respect to them, Adam Lallana, Pascal Gross, Mac Allister, you don't need to physically impose yourself on them. If anything, that's what Souček should be doing, but he isn't. So I'd get Fanals in there, and I'd get Scamacca on up front and just drop Antonio a little bit off Scamacca, but essentially 4-4-2 on paper, if you like, but a bit more of a Burnley 4-4-1-1 in reality. I think some of Antonio's hold-up playing layoffs have been quite good in the first half. I'll probably get a bit of grief for saying that because there's a lot of criticism for Antonio, but I don't think he's been that bad in the first half. I think the problem is we get the ball to him. He moves the ball well. It's what we then do thereafter that's the issue. So I think if we could have Scamacca up there, just helping Antonio, just keeping one of the centre-backs out his way and letting Antonio go one-on-one with the centre-back instead of having 2 centre-backs breathing down his neck, I think that would give us a bit of a benefit. And we're getting the ball in the box. We're just not very good at crossing. Sanchez is comfortable in the air. And put Scamacca in there alongside Antonio, we might start to have a different conversation about our... You then don't need to have good crosses because you've only got Antonio to aim for. Your cross better be good because they've got Veltman, Duncan, Webster in there. You've got to have a cross on the money. But when you put Scamacca in there as well, suddenly you can whip in a pretty average at best cross, but it turns out to be a good one because the man attacking it is better than the man he's up against and can win it for you. So that's what I would like to see, get Scamacca on and just a bit of an intent to go and win the game, Charlie. I would imagine we'll make no changes at half time. We'll give another 10, 15 minutes, but by the time Moyes goes to make a change, we could easily find ourselves 2-0 down.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. I'll let you run off because I
Thank
don't
you.
know how far behind your stream is compared to mine. So go and sorry, your legitimate way of watching. So go ahead, Geo. Have a grand old time. Ladies and gentlemen, the second half is going to kick off in just a moment. I will say thank you very much for everyone who liked the video. We flew past 500. There are 625 right now. It is absolutely flying. So if you haven't already, let's just see how far we can get with it now. Screw it. Now we're here. Let's just go wild. Let's see what we can do. And subscribe if you haven't already. Right. No changes at half time. If you are looking for a way to watch the game, because of course it is not live, of course, on UK television today, unfortunately, then I would highly recommend you check out our Discord. Link in the description below where join our Discord. Anyone is welcome. Any fans are welcome. It's free to join. Lovely community. But more importantly, on the left-hand side, if you scroll down, you'll find something called Stream Links, which you will find what you're looking for. The teams coming out at the London Stadium, it is Brighton and Hove Albion 1, West Ham United 0. A huge second half to come. I'm not surprised. Obviously, people are talking about no changes. I think we've had like 3 or 4 Lawrence, but I don't remember any on target. I'll say that much. People talking about no changes, like Gio said. I'm not necessarily surprised by that, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. How soon into this half, if it's not working, will we get the change? If it is the change, who's it going to be? Lots of questions to be raised, lots of questions to be answered. The second half is about to be underway at the London Stadium. West Ham United to kick off. 1-0 down to Brighton and Hove Albion. Here we go. Pablo Fornals to take. And there we go. Come on, you Irons. Let's make this happen this half. Come on. We started brightly in the first. Let's start brightly again. Let's get back into this game quickly. Let's make it happen. And we've won a free kick instantaneously, hugely up the field. Completely luckily, a handball from Veltman, but we'll take it. We will take it. Connor Matthews, by the way. First of all, good to see you. Hope you're well. If you stick around for the second half, I'm not saying you have to, by the way, but if you do stick around for the second half, if there are trolls, just ban them straight out of the gate. Just get rid. Okay, I trust your judgment on this. You know what I'm like. I trust your judgment on this. Feel free to just don't ban straight away. Time out, and then if they come back and troll again, then ban. If you stick around, if you're not, don't worry about it, Connor. But I know you're a spanner, so I'll let you know. But appreciate if you do. Appreciate it, bro. Free kick whipped in from Cresswell. Awkward. Rice can't quite get there. Bowen can't quite get there. Bit of awkward bouncing around. Ben Rama trying to find his way through 5 different Brighton players. But we'll take the throw in. Appreciate it, Connor. Thank you. Yes, Moyes trolled the whole fan base. Ban him. Time him out. Our throw in, as per usual, pretty bad, but we at least keep possession of the ball. We are forced all the way back into our own half from it, but we'll at least, it is what it is. Sufal manages, so Fornals does really well there, and we win a throw in. I'm not sure how that's managed to have happened, but it is. Zuma cross in wasn't great, but Antonio, nice little reverse through ball, trying to look for Jarrod Bowen. Doesn't quite work out, but I like the idea. Kurt Zuma's cross there looked like what would happen if I tried to cross a football on a Premier League pitch, but, we move. Not blaming him. He's a centre-back. Why would he be able to cross? West Ham now passing the ball around in the defensive area with their... just giving it about the various defenders, seeing what they do with the ball. The answer is usually pass it to another one of the defenders. We got dangerously close to the halfway line there, ladies and gentlemen, but Bowen did have to go backwards again in the end. You know how we go. Oh, nice pressure from Antonio. Puts Robert Sanchez in an awkward position when he clears the ball. And West Ham regain it with Pablo Fornals. Zuma now on the ball, just striding forward. Back to Fornals. No real good options for him. We do not show for the ball at all. Every single player is just sort of on their man, trying to move forward. It's like everyone is marked. Why are we not dropping into space and giving the person on the pitch options? It's so annoying. Someone said we should change shirts. I realized that shirt is just way too small for me, so I thought I'd rep the hammerchatstore.com. It's a really nice opportunity. Kara does well, though, to recover That was flipping close, though, and a yellow card as well. My heart jumped a little bit there when I realised what was happening. But Kera does manage to pretty successfully and keep possession of the ball off Danny Welbeck and play the ball forward. It wasn't the perfect pass, but I tell you what, it was all right. Ben Rama, the idea was okay, but just no one else was on that wavelength. It wasn't happening. I'm kind of okay with them doing that hammerhead. I'm not going to lie. Like, actually, I've changed my mind, hammerhead. I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with it. I've changed my mind. We can't break teams down. I've changed my mind. I've ignored that. Ignore me. I was wrong 20 seconds ago when I said that. Cresswell with a foul on. Solly March. Just a bit awkward. Just a bit awkward, that one. Ben run through the middle, corner on the left, and replace Antonio with Skamaka and Souček with Ashby. Trying to figure out how that would work. It's an interesting idea, Harrison. I'm trying to figure out how it would work in my head because I'm an idiot and I can't visualize it. I don't like playing Brighton because Danny Welbeck's in the team, and then I hear the word Danny and I instantly think of my boy over here. It stresses me out. I hear the word Danny. I'm like, what? Hang on. What? Free kick to Brighton in a good position to cross this ball in. Gross tries to find it in, and to be honest with you, there was no pressure under. I think it was Bowen who ended up getting the header away, but it wasn't a bad delivery, but it was just literally no one even close to it. Bowen just sort of under no real pressure gets it out in an awkward fashion, and now Brighton have a throw in a good advanced area of the pitch. But good work from Ben Rama and William Afro. We'll take it. We'll take it. We'll take it. Any sort of let up on pressure right now is good. Any sort of let up on pressure right now is good. Just depressingly, maybe. Depressingly, maybe. I mean, yeah. Yeah, sure. Why not? Why not? Skamaka coming off, it looks like. Or Skamaka coming on, I should say. Coming off the bench. He's warming up at least. He's warming up at least, which may suggest his time is soon. He'll probably warm up for like a couple of minutes, then strip off, and then maybe about 10 minutes later we'll actually make a substitution. But, you know. Brighton pressing our defensive passing here, which I'm not necessarily against if we can transition quick enough. If we can transition quick enough, then it's not the end of the world. We're happy for them to do that. And Bowen's gone for it, and he looks like he might actually win this race. He does. Good work, Jared. Good work, Jared. Antonio's in there. Ben Rama's in there. Bowen just do something with it. Decides to play it back to Sufal, whose cross is off the first man. We'll get second chance. So dink it. He's dinked it. Ben Rama's there. Rice is there. Laid it off to Ben Rama. Tries to shape. Can't quite do it. West Ham still have possession of the ball. Come on. This is good position. We're in and around the area. Declan Rice. Deflected. Corner. We'll take. We'll take. Is it a vibe? No. But we'll take it. We'll take it. Right. Corner. Right-hand side. Of course, all of West Ham's bigger boys are in there. They're going for man. Sado's just sort of on top of Souček, trying to stop that run to the near post. Sanchez is absolutely crowded because of it. Whipped in from Bowen. Not great, but that's a good opportunity for Cresswell. Hits it. Oh, deflects. Deflect, blocked, however you want to say it. It drops to Aaron Cresswell in a really nice position. He hits it. Big punt over the top. It's completely over the top. Will Antonio get there? Go on, Mikel. Go on. He couldn't quite make it. Fair play. It dropped all of a sudden. It dropped all of a sudden to Aaron Cresswell in such a good position. Bowen whips in the ball. It doesn't really go anywhere, but it lands. And I'll tell you what, Aaron Cresswell hits it, and it wasn't. I'll be honest, it wasn't the best hit. He just sort of has to take a swing at it. It wasn't. He can hit him from that sort of range, but he's just sort of spinning. He slices it. It ends up just smacking straight into Veltman and going away. But a good opportunity. We're either 0 or 1. Well, either 0 or 1, I'll give you that. Bowen on the ball. Lays it short to Fornals. Maybe it's so far, actually. No, it was Fornals, I was right. He's striding inwards, trying to find any sort of space. Again, just people just stand still. They either stand still or just run into dead ends. It's like, what are you doing? Give the person on the ball space and time like that. There you go. Little bit of passing from West Ham. You'll have to see it. Cresswell puts it in. A really good opportunity. Oh, there was something there all of a sudden. Just a little bit of space all of a sudden. Just a little bit of space. A little bit of ingenuity. People walking into spaces where they can actually be passed to as opposed to just standing next to Brighton defenders as usual. Nice, quick, swift, one-touch passing out wide to Aaron Cresswell, who puts it in first time into a really good area. Really nice crossing. Thomas Souček arriving, couldn't quite get there ahead of the Brighton defender, but we'll take that. Better. It's going to be a corner. Left-hand side, Aaron Cresswell to take it. Sanchez collects it. Calm as you like. Nowhere near that. I'll give you that much, JG. Nowhere near that. We're on for a solid top half finish. Gianluca Scamacca is stripped and ready. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. I reckon we'll finish strong top half. And I'm looking for a good run in Europe. That's the aim here. Hey, Zach, you all right? Hope you're well, bro. Hope you and the family are all good. Can't remember. John? I can't remember. But good to see you, Zach. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a good day. Outside of the performance so far. I'm interested to see who Scamacca comes on for. What's the change going to be? I feel like it probably will just be a straight swap for Mikel Antonio. But as Gio said, I wouldn't actually mind seeing a sort of two up top system. I think Antonio could thrive off that as well as Scamacca. I wouldn't mind seeing it punted forward now, but Antonio's going to battle for it. He does well. Fair play, Mikel Antonio. He does well there. And he's come away with the ball on the right-hand side. Maybe space to cross it in. He does, but it's just over the top. Straight into Sanchez's hands. Fornals was there, but it was too far and high ahead of him. Ben Rama there, but it wasn't far enough across and in. John, I got it. Yes, and Imogen. Thank you. How are you all? I hope you're all well. I nailed that. John, Zach, Imogen. I'm so glad I got John. What subs do I want? Without spamming. What subs do I want? Scamacca. I don't know who for, but I do want to see him on. Ben Rama does well there to pick up the ball, takes it past one, step overs. He's just giving Brighton defenders just step off him a little bit. The ball in at the end wasn't great. Weak foot trying to cross. Doesn't quite happen. Sanchez is just probably going to let that ball roll out for a throw in. I respect it. I maybe would have said that was potentially a throw into West Ham, but I think Sanchez did very well there. I want Scamacca. What other subs would I want? I don't know. I would like to see Cornet on, but he's got his bid back on what? David Moyes. Substitutes never change. Ben Rama coming off, apparently, is what the commentators just said. Okay. All right. I mean, if we're there he is. He's putting his vest back on. If it is Ben Rama, then that suggests we are going for some sort of two up top system, unless Mikel Antonio is just going to go out onto the left wing, which it wouldn't surprise me, to be fair. Fornals at left mid, Bowen at right. Antonio does well to find Fornals. Bowen's there. Fornals goes for it. Sanchez save. I mean, it's a shot on target, which at this point we'll take. We're looking brighter now. We're looking to turn up the pressure a little bit. We're looking to step up a little bit more. Not ideal. Antonio's pass out to Fornals wasn't bad, but again, Jarrod Bowen is asking for the ball. He's got his hands out in front of him. One, he's standing in an offside position, and two, there's three defenders in front of you, bro. What the heck do you expect to happen there? But better. And at least we've had a shot on target. Now it's time to build on that. Antonio left wing, Scamacca up front. That's what I'm thinking, Jack. That's exactly what I'm thinking. It's a great question, Sharp, and I don't know. Yeah, form is temporary. You can't judge where you're going to end from the first 3 games of the season. Now, if you're a team like Norwich who have just come off and you lose the first 3 games of the season against teams who are going to be in and around you in the relegation battle, then yeah, maybe you can make a more strong judgment on it. But 3 games into a season, well, not even that, 2.5 at this point, you can't make judgments on where you're going to finish that. I'm still relatively confident about that fact. Still relatively confident. In the same way that if we won 3 games in the first 3 games, I wouldn't say we were going to finish top 6, you know? Nice run by Solly March. Finding a bit of space, just dinks it across, but straight to Fabianski, who looking to play it quickly and does. Oh my God, he actually played it quickly. I mean, Antonio couldn't make it happen because there was only one guy there, but he at least tried to play it quickly, which is a rarity with him. I'll take that. I'll take that. I suspect there is a stat for it, Ismar, and I suspect we are very high up that list. Very high up that list, I suspect. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Scored against Brighton and from outside the box. Connor, I know I said to ban trolls, but listen, mate, come on now. Come on now. I didn't mean take up the mantle for them. I actually genuinely cannot remember. We're now getting a different... We might be getting a different tactical setup now. More instructions for Scamacca. He's gone back to... He had a whole conversation with Kevin Nolan, who had the iPad out and doing all the bit. And now he's got another set of conversation to have with him. I did say it'd be at least 10 minutes before he made his way onto the pitch. And we're getting close. Now Fornals is coming off instead. I mean, okay. I don't know. We'll see. We'll take a free kick. Free kick on the halfway line. Jarrod Bowen under pressure goes down. We'll take it. Scamacca is about to come on. Here we go. Gianluca Scamacca coming on for Pablo Fornals. Do I feel like that's the correct decision? I don't know if I would have taken off Fornals personally, but then again, you have to take someone off. And it does suggest that maybe it would be a more traditional 2 up top system. Because you feel like Antonio could shift out onto the left-hand side, right? And Fornals has the versatility. But if Benrahma... Oh, nice. Oh, not quite Benrahma offside. There was an opportunity there. Maybe Benrahma's very central right now, and Antonio seems to be on the left. So potentially it's a situation where we kept the 4-2-3-1, God forbid, but maybe we've kept that, and Benrahma goes into 10 position, and then on the left you get Mikel Antonio. But Brighton are looking to make a substitution instantaneously. They're looking to make a straight swap now. Is Estepan coming on, the fullback that they signed from Villarreal. Premier League debut, he's coming on. My stream skipped back to the penalty because that's good for me. Appreciate that. That's exactly what I wanted. So March is coming off and Adam Lallana as well. We're seeing Estepan come on, and I'm not sure who else. Right? We'll have a see in a second. No clue who else is coming on, but still. Interesting idea. If we're keeping the 4-2-3-1, we're putting Benrahma in that 10 position. I prefer Benrahma as a left winger, but receiving the ball where he actually wants to receive the ball and as a 10. However, him playing off of Scamacca is a very interesting idea Ben Rama trying to find those spaces and shots. He's a shot happy guy, as is Skamaka. I'd quite like to see that those sort of two work together, see how that moves forward with it. It's a free kick to Brighton in a very good area for them. So we'll see how that works. Natasha, good to see you. There are two ways we can look at this, and one is that we're up creek without a clue. Two, Arsenal's lost their first 3 games last season, finished 5th, and Spurs were crap first half and second. Yeah, very good point. This is what I'm saying. You can't judge off 3 games. You just can't. You just can't. It's going to be a free kick in a good position though. Corner essentially position. Try to whip in from Gross, but straight off Cresswell. Welbeck on the ball, trying to shift it around into a crossing position. Maybe finds Pascal Gross instead. And then Brighton just slowly but surely forced backwards. And yeah, Ben Rama definitely has taken up a central position. He was the one sort of slowly closing down with Skamaka there, and Antonio playing at left wing, which is interesting because he played left wing a lot before he joined West Ham. He joined West Ham and then played basically solely as a right winger, and then of course right back in his initial period as well before moving up front. But he can play left wing, has played there before, and having an attacking player like that on the left wing is an interesting idea. Maybe I would love to see this work. You know, we're very attacking right now. Our front four is going for it. You can say a lot of things. I'll be honest. You can say a lot of things about David Moyes, but you can't say he hasn't at least got a very attacking front four on. West Ham being awful at throw-ins as per usual. We at least maintain possession. I spoke too soon. The punt forward was completely aimless. Oh, header back towards goal. Oh, no, we haven't got possession. Forget that. We have not got possession. I lied. There is no possession. Oh, that's a nice play by Gross. That's a really nice goal. That's a really nice goal. Trossard's the one who gets the goal. It's really good. There's not even a hint of anything there. Just so good. 2-0. Easy. Brighton and Hove Albion, ladies and gentlemen. Brighton and Hove Albion. We will never, ever beat them. We just never will. Head tennis going back and forth. Oh, that touch round the back for Trossard is so good. McAllister into Gross, who just that first time pass into Trossard is just beautiful. Round the side. And where are the defenders? Where are they? Zuma's on top of him. Kera's trying to come back. And Soufal's nowhere close. Why are the centre-backs in that position? That is an awful position for the centre-backs to be in. Awful position. That is so... 2-0 Brighton. 2-0 Brighton. What can you do? What can you do? We'll never, ever beat Brighton. I'm very confident in this fact. While Graham Potter is there, we'll never beat Brighton. Baby Bell time? Hey, listen, if the chat wants Baby Bells, we'll go with Baby Bells. But, yeah. Fortune's always hiding in that. Fortune's always hiding. Okay, right. Well, like I said, you can say a lot about David Moyes, but can't say we haven't got an attacking lineup on the pitch right now. Now, where are they in the pit? Where they are in terms of how deep we are, you can maybe have a conversation about that. We have attacking players on, but you know, Leeds doing bits. But we at least have forward players on. We need something now, though. If we are going to come back into this, we need something now. I've got a feeling it's not going to help, but we have 2 in there. Welbeck out wide to Solly March. Brighton just one touch passing around us. Mikel Antonio, good work. Benrahma with no options tries to pass it around the back, and that's not worked out for anyone. Brighton come away with it again. Gross just turns Benrahma really well, who sticks on him, to be fair, and wins the ball back. Good work, Benrahma. After being turned like that, is good work. And then Cresswell, unsurprisingly, just punts it clear, and guess who regains possession? It's Brighton. Well, I appreciate the constructive feedback, Steve. Good luck with the rest of the day. Hope you have a good day. Bad day at the office for everyone. Olays now from the Brighton fans because you love to hear it. Good tackle, Souček. Good tackle, Souček. Brighton have possession of the ball, trying to figure out what to do with it. We just need to stop punting it. When we get possession of the ball, we just need to not just punt it vaguely at the area of our strikers. Or strikers, sorry. Like, it's just a waste. It's just such a stupid waste. Pain in the arse there. Double change, Cornet and Lanzini. So we're going down to 10 men, but we are bringing on Cornet. That's harsh. That was harsh for me. That was unnecessarily harsh. I apologize for that. The thing is, I with the Moyes thing, as long-term watchers of this will know, people like James Gunn, who's been here for a hell of a long time, Kiri's been here for a hell of a long time, will know I've never been the biggest fan of Dave Moyes. Right? I never have been. But even I'm not Moyes out, because I don't think we can look at the first 3 games and really judge it. I think he's got a big job ahead of him, a huge job ahead of him, because right now we seem to be in a rut where we aren't able to really do anything, it feels like, you know? And the problem with him is the conservative nature of his play, playing the same sort of style, doing the same sort of subs, doing the same sort of thing, makes you quite easy to be found out. And I think there are definitely teams who just know exactly what they're doing against us. Brighton, case in point. So I'm not at the stage where I think Moyes out is something I would want to say. Because, as I said, I've never liked him that much. But realistically, Ben Johnson coming on as well. Maybe a triple sub. But we can't act like there isn't a huge job ahead of him right now to turn this around. We have the baby boss, but I only saw. Trust me, I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's still not for me. What happened to the baby boss? Listen, we've had 2 calls. They've never been close enough. I like them being close. If we get 2 calls right now, I'll go grab it. I'll go grab one. This is basically my stance. I'm not worried yet, but at some point you have to start being worried, and it's not quite yet for me, but in a couple of games, maybe we'll see what happens. Let's see. Is that Soufal who's down? Is that why we're seeing Ben Johnson potentially? There is a West Ham player down currently. I think he might be Vladimir Soufal. I'm not sure. This is it exactly. This is it exactly. Like sometimes you just have, and that's what sort of gives him the ability to have a period like this where it's not going well. Give him the chance to turn it around. So we're seeing a triple substitution. I know I don't believe it either. First up, Mikel Antonio comes off, and on in his place is Maxwell Cornet. That would just be a straight swap, I would imagine. Maxwell Cornet on the left, Skamaka stays up front, Ben Rama stays at 10, and then Bowen on the right. Ben Johnson, I think, will just be a straight swap again with Vladimir Sufal. One would suspect. Lanzini's coming on for... It's going to be Ben Rama, isn't it? It's going to... I don't know what just happened, but it changed to a chicken advert very briefly. Vladimir Sufal is coming off. He's being helped off, which isn't good news. Which is not good news. Hey. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for a way to watch the game, then I would suggest you look down in the description below and find join our Discord. So Vladimir Sufal is coming off and Ben Johnson's the one who's coming on for him. And it is Ben Rama who's coming off for Lanzini. Okay. Save the bells. We ain't getting anything from this. The other problem in this situation is that the other problem in this situation is that when you have such a small squad, when you go to try and make a change when it isn't working like today, you have to rely on people who haven't been doing it before. So Manuel Lanzini coming on, for example, who's had an awful start to this campaign, now all of a sudden has to come on and be the game changer. And I really like the idea of putting Ben Rama in that 10 behind Skamaka. But let's be real, we basically haven't seen any of it because he's off before he's really had the chance to do it because Brighton have been all over us and he's not really had the chance to really do anything. Played down the wing, now looking for Solly March, who's trying to loft it in towards, I was going to say towards that back pass, but I'll be honest with you, literally no one there. And Estepan beaten out by Ben Johnson. Good work. Good work, Ben. Good work, Ben. Yeah, I know. I know. Trust me. I know. I sit here every week. I see it. Oh, Solly March. Close, but no cigar. Close, but no cigar. Whipped over. Lofted over. I think it was Estepan. Trying to go forward, West Ham. Just lose out on it. Thomas Souček loses the ball. And then just slowly working their way forward, Brighton to Estepan, who has all of the time and space because of how Constantino and become. Solly March, just a really good opportunity, and he just headers it completely high and wide. That was a really nice chance for him. He should have done better. He just should have done better. Passing it around Brighton down this right-hand side, looking to try and find space. Declan Rice manages to get the ball there. His pass was, I'm not going to lie, one of the dumber things I've seen him do today, but there we go. We move. Commentators speculating on whether or not Skamaka's even had a touch since he's come on the pitch. Shows exactly what we do. We pick the ball up and then we just sort of lob it and hope for the best. And when you have Mikel Antonio, who's mobile, who can run about, who can do lots of different things, then that kind of makes sense. But when you're Gianluca Scamacca, who is not that type of player, then that's not really going to work. And so in that position, when Declan Rice, perhaps a little bit luckily, wins the ball back, but let's be real, he wins the ball back. We have time to put something together, a bit of passing, a bit of something, a bit of possession. Instead, what we do is we just turn around and just boot it. Just boot it. There was no aim. There was no idea. It was just a huge hit forward. And this happens. better. Cornet nods it down to Lanzini. Gets a bit underneath his foot, and his pass was awful. It was awful. All of a sudden, it looked like it was over net for us, and again, just, you know. Well, in positive news, we're at 667 likes. So we are incredibly close to that 700 figure. Incredibly close. So thank you very much, everyone. If you haven't already, like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. It keeps cutting to a Tottenham match for me, and I keep seeing Harry Kane heading the ball. It's very exciting for them, I suppose. You know. It's very exciting for them, I suppose. Not going to lie. CBA. CBA. It's getting annoying. It's very much in my head. Hang on. It's very much in my eyes right now. You know, my hair is just ridiculous right now. I can't lie. It's just too much. It skipped back to the Spurs match for some reason, and I've just seen Richarlison go down. You love to see it. Anyway, back to West Ham. I haven't seen the old Dragon show, to be fair, Logan. I'm that far behind. I've seen the first 15 minutes of the first episode about 4 years ago. At some point, I might go back and watch it. Who knows? Brighton on the ball. All of the time and space in and around the area because of the way we defend. No real sense of trying to tackle them. We're just going to wait for them to give us the ball. There's no real impetus to try and win the ball. We just sort of let them lose the ball, which they have successfully done. You know, you move. Do you know, I'm not against my stream constantly just cutting to different things. Usually it would frustrate me, but today, yeah, whatever, man. Bowen lays it out wide. And I'm now seeing an advert with Crystal Palace players. Who knows? Who knows? Brighton, good interception. I feel like we might be watching the same television channel, Ben, because they're a bit of whiskey, bit of Crystal Palace. I enjoyed seeing Spurs for a bit. That was good. Bit when Richarlison fell over. Oh, it was great. I know. It's a mess, mate. It's an absolute mess. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. West Ham passing the ball. There's just no energy in this side at all. The crowd are completely dead. We're not passing it around with any sort of real intent. We have the ball right now. We're getting into an okay position. Maybe something building here. A goal would maybe poo-poo a little bit at the end here. Jared Bowen decides to take a shot from range. It was never going to happen. With his weak foot, of all things. Played in, header. Ooh, Thomas Souček gets a header, forces a save from Sanchez. We'll take it. It's a corner. Listen, if we get a goal here, maybe the end of this game is a bit different. Will it be? No. Ben Johnson puts it into a good area, but Thomas Souček rises well. Maybe want to attack it a bit more than anything there, but he does at least force a save. Oh, it's NFL red zone. Okay, fair. Here we go. Corner. Cresswell whips it in. Good position. Oof. And a second one again. I think it was maybe Souček again. And let's have a look. The ball's whipped in. Souček's there. It was either Souček or Bowen. I don't know which one of them gets the header on it. I think it's Souček again, and Sanchez scrambling, manages to pour it away. Another corner now. Cresswell takes it in. It comes. Another header maybe from Zuma. That one can't get there, and it's going to be a goal kick. A couple of really close calls there. Any of them go in, and that's a different vibe. Hopefully that wasn't the last chances we're going to get in this game. Let's reload the vibes. Come on, let's reload the vibes. Let's have another go. Let's get at them. Let's just give it a jolly good go, guys. I don't believe that, but, you know. Ben Johnson putting in a better ball than Soufal has all day. You love to see it. Good save from Sanchez for both of them, to be fair. Mwepu coming on for Solly March for Brighton. There are no vibes. I agree with you. There's none, but, you know, let's create some vibes. What's everyone doing the rest of the day? The team have not egg. They do not. Not in this trying time, not ever. One league win in 12. Is that how bad it is? Woof. Woof. Still. No eggs, no party. You'd have to see Cresswell running backwards to try and collect possession of the ball next to the corner flag. No, you keep telling me it's not just 3 games. I'm aware of that. You will not find a more pessimistic person than me. I'm aware of that. But you also can't just act like at the end of last season we weren't also in the semi-finals of the Europa League. The idea of it's not just 3 last time. Don't get me wrong, we were not good enough. I was saying we weren't good enough from November last year, from November in last season. So you're not going to find someone who's more pessimistic than me, right? But when you're saying, it's not just that, we can't also act like we weren't in the Europa League semi-finals last year. Okay, there were mitigating factors to some extent. Now we don't really have a mitigating factor right now. We are in the Europa Conference League, obviously, but let's see what happens. When we get to the group stage, let's see how that all plays out, right? My point is that we've done enough over the last couple of seasons to not look at this as a permanent thing. Now, in 3 games, that obviously could change. If we have 3 games where we play awfully and they were terrible in all of them and we don't score in any of them and we're looking just trash, then sure, maybe then we have to do. But we can't just ignore mitigating factors. If you want to talk about last season, we can talk about them, but you can't ignore mitigating factors. MH, I don't care. You're banned now. I'm done today. I'm just done out here. I tried. I beg you. I tried. I gave you chances, yeah? At this point, I cannot be asked. I'm at the stage where I have the ban hammer and I've got 5+ minutes left in this game and I'm ready for a fight. So if you want to come for me, all right? Because I'll end it. The point is you can't ignore mitigating factors, right? We had that at the end of last season. It was obviously rough. It was difficult. We know that, right? But obviously we had the Europa League and everything else. We don't really have that right now, which is why I'm saying we're looking at it. We started awfully, but you just have to give it, I don't want to say give it time, but you have to give it time. Now, that time ends pretty flipping quickly, if we're being honest about it. It ends pretty flipping quickly, but still, we can't necessarily judge our entire season against a team we literally lose against every single time, you know? Talk about the rest of the game. CM, what are you up to for the rest of the day, my friend? What's your vibe? What are you saying? What are you saying? What are we saying? What are you planning to have for dinner? What stuff? Glenn, IG. If everyone hasn't already subscribed to Glenn Clarity Everything Arsenal, Glenn has been doing, right? Glenn's Arsenal, right? Arsenal having a good season, everything else is very exciting, okay? Glenn has great shows. I've been on a bunch of them. Young Tom's been on a bunch of them. But Glenn's also been doing these good like documentary style videos about Arsenal stuff, including people that I love. I'll let you go and see who it is. But I'll tell you what, worth watching. If you haven't already, worth watching. I am concerned about this. I'm not going to lie. I'm concerned. I'm concerned about the fact I do think he is just carrying an injury. I don't know what it is, but I am concerned that is the case. I am concerned that is the case. Oh, vibes. Nice. What genre? What are we saying? What website? Talk to me. How do you feel about it, Danny? He said we've been crap. He said we've been crap. Hughes, thank you very much for the $5. Hey, listen, you could have said you were going to donate $5 like you did in the Europa League game for every time we scored and saved some money today. But I appreciate it. Appreciate you for the $5 for the full-time fan fantastic watch on crowd. Way better than football today. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, bro. Hey, bro. Very kind of you. Very kind of you to have to as well. Suchek hits it, blocked. 4 minutes of stoppage time to go. 4 minutes of stoppage time to go. Shocked into it. Shocked into it. Remember, if you haven't already, to subscribe. We were the only team, we were the only channel last year who did a watch along every single match day. To my flipping dismay. And we're hoping to try and continue that this year. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe because this literally doesn't happen without you. I'm sat here by myself. Imagine if there was no one watching. Imagine how bad that would be. So I need you here. I need you here. So if you haven't already, subscribe, hit the bell notification button, and like the video. This is the last time I'm going to say it. We are at 710 likes. We flew past 700. We flew past 300. Then we flew past 500. Now we've flown past 700. It's mad, it's huge, and I appreciate you massively for it. The most liked one by a significant distance. And on a day like today, that's a difficult task. That is a difficult task. I'll also say while we're going through the final stages of this game that remember that we have a live match review with Geo Gonzo straight after this. So stick around and hear two people probably very angry, having a huge old just complain about it and get involved in the live chat of that. So yeah, make sure if you haven't, stick around because that'll be maybe potentially cathartic. we hope. Trossard getting subbed off. Just thought I should let you know. Does it matter? No. Mitoma coming on. That's actually good intel. Leeds 3-0. Koulibaly red as well. I think that rules them out against us. I'm trying to remember the fixtures. I don't remember. 4 minutes added on. Although it might be over. It might be over for some people. For me, I've got an extra minute to go. Get excited. I'm going to guess it ends 2-0. And I'm going to thank you all. I won't bother asking for man of match and everything because let's be real. We don't need that sort of... we don't need that today at all. So I won't bother asking today. But I want to thank you all once again for watching. This has been probably consistently maybe the highest viewed watch along we've ever done. we've had watch-alongs where we've had like 1.4 thousand people watching, for example, the Manchester City Cup game when we beat them. Just an insane amount of people watching, but that was at the end when everything was happening. There have been an insane amount of you in today. Throughout the entire game, the numbers have been just mad high. And so I want to thank you one last time before the game ends for all of that, because that is very, very kind of you. I really do appreciate it. Like I say, I really do need you lot here, otherwise it would just be me by myself. Just moaning into the void. Just moaning into the void. We will be back though on Thursday as the final whistle goes, and it is 2-0 and a huge booze around the stadium. We will be back on Thursday night for the V-Ball game away, of course. I think it's on Premier Sports or something. I'm going to have to try and figure out how the hell we're going to watch that. But we will be back for that, so make sure you come back and get involved for that, because I think we might actually score in that one. Not going to lie, we might actually get a goal in that game, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to get you too excited, but I think it might actually happen, Ben. Looking forward to potentially seeing you in a couple of, who knows, soon. We'll say. I don't know if we can have to talk about it publicly, but I'm looking forward to potentially seeing you soon. Anyway, the point is we might actually score on Thursday. So make sure to come back and get involved in that, because we might actually have a grand old time. However, that is the end of the show. Remember, we are looking for a sponsor. So if you want your name to be up here, there, if you want your name to be there, I really have to think about that. Then let us know. hammerschat at gmail.com, and you can get involved. We, of course, shout out to all the overseas hammers and patreon.com/hammerschat today. Thank you very much. I know the person who did it from the Patreon who sponsored us today. Thank you very much. I know who you are, but I don't know if people want to say so. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the show. Stick around because Geo and Gonzo will be doing their live match review very, very briefly. But until then, come on, you Irons. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Hopefully, it doesn't go as badly as that did for us. And I'll see you on Thursday. See you later, everyone. Bye. Hang on. Bye.